Good morning, Soldier Boy here, and welcome back to RoadCraft's DLC, RoadCraft Rebuild DLC. As we're back today for 3.5 hours to continue on from where I left off last week. Ah, that's a mouthful that I struggled to get out. Let's try that again, shall we? Good morning, hope you're well. We're back today for 3.5 hours as we continue on the final DLC map as part of the Rebuild DLC in RoadCraft. We managed to get quite a bit done last week, although we did miss a stream, obviously, because of what was going on with me and appointments and stuff like that. We managed to get the oil well back up and running last time out. We built another road. We also dealt with a mission that we cleared an area, but then the mission itself wasn't correct, weirdly. And then we used the new Timberworks vehicles and had our say on what we felt they were like. And that's kind of where we got to, I believe. We'll have to have a quick look at percentages as we go in. But we're getting there. It's obviously not quick because there's so much to do. A lot of infrastructure to look at and build. A lot more road building in this one, it looks like. And obviously, you can't build bridges. You have to use the bridge vehicles, which is brilliant. But it just takes time to use them rather than just building a quick bridge. But we're getting there. It takes what it takes. We know there's new DLC supposedly in March, and that includes a new map. We just don't know exactly what else it's going to entail just yet. But as far as I'm aware, that is in March this year, hopefully. Unless that obviously changes for any particular reason. Mass thanks to everyone who joined us yesterday for Ghost of Yotai. We had a really good stream yesterday as well. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, the vote for next main live stream game should begin either when we finish this or Ghost of Yotai, whichever comes first. We'll go live tomorrow evening. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm just checking sound. We'll go live tomorrow evening until Saturday, so don't forget to have your say on that. And that's the 4 games you'll be voting for, the 4 games that come first and second out of the 2 votes we've had over the last 2 weeks. Whether we'll do that every time, I don't know. I think it's worked quite well. The only annoying thing is people vote after the deadline, although I've already taken the winners at that point and put a pinned comment on the post, but it's going to happen. But yeah, it's just whether we do it, because it takes roughly looking at 3 weeks just to make a decision on what comes next, which sometimes is too long. I like the idea that we can have more variety and more choice, but at the same time, I'm not a massive fan of leaving it so long to make that decision, if that makes sense. But that's something we need to look at going forward. I just wish they'd put back the 6. I don't know why they limited it from 4 to 6. 6 wasn't the right number. You get a decent amount of variety for that. Whereas I feel now we're struggling a little bit in terms of variety. But there we go. It's one of those things. Right, let's have a look where we're at. So 41% as it stands. We've done. I'm on the wrong map. That'd help. 41% on washout. We've done 6 of 24 infrastructure requests, 12 of 32 main objectives, 6 of 11 side objectives, and we're on the 2nd of the 3 parts of the story to the map. Now, the one thing I'm hoping for when they bring the DLC out in potentially March, I do need to double check that really. I'll double check it ready for Thursday's stream. Is I hope they bring back the voice, the lady who would talk to us about our missions. I kind of want her back for the DLC because you are lacking that. That cohesion between missions and also just that way of feeling like you're doing something good rather than it being a bit stale at times. I think she really helped that. But there we go, that's my thoughts. So we've still got the upper left corner of the map to kind of look at. We haven't been there yet, so that's something we need to get to. Let's have a look at what we need to do today. So we did use the new Timberwork vehicles in the last stream as well. They worked okay. I don't think we had any major issues with them. I'm trying to think back now. Yeah, I can't. I think the tree cutter wasn't as good. We did work out in the end you need to use it backwards rather than forwards, but we felt that wasn't as good as the crayfish. And yeah, I think they're okay. I don't think they were massively needed. And I'm looking forward to see what vehicles they add in later on as well, to be fair. Right, let's have a look at what we need to do today then. So, I know we built a few roads in the last stream as well. There's quite a bit still to do on the map itself. So objectives, we've got one main objective, that's repair the main power substation, and that is by delivering a vehicle from here, which is a Wayfarer. This is why we were doing things last time. So this is a Wayfarer, which, if you know the game or know what I've said previously, is the worst vehicle on the game by far. So we need to deliver the vehicle from the gas station here to all the way down here at the main power substation to get the substation back up and running. Now, to get there is the problem, because the vehicle we're driving is here, and the Wayfarer, as soon as it goes on anything that isn't asphalt, tarmac, it will get stuck. Guaranteed. We could tow it, but again, it's not even the easiest thing to tow sometimes. We did see this pathway here, so there is an old path going this way that potentially could be useful. We're going to have to get across that pipe though. Although it goes into the trees there, which isn't the worst thing. I think it comes round this way. We don't know for sure because obviously we've not been. I think it comes down this way. And obviously we did clear all this last time, because the mission we did previously was clear all this area for a road, and then the road was never built. It was never needed. Once we cleared it, didn't want us to build a road anymore, which is extremely weird. So that's something we really probably need to do. I think the first thing today is road building, by the looks of things. I'm just trying to work out our best route. I think we've got to, knowing we're going to drive a Wayfarer, knowing how difficult they are to drive, I don't think we've got much choice, but we have to build a road down here, and the decision is either to go across or go left. I think we go left along here to here, put a bridge in, then follow this down where this road wants to go anyway, and then potentially follow it around. The difficulty we have is there's loads of holes here that we're probably going to need to fill, but then maybe build the road as was intended, what we thought was intended originally, through all this down here until we get to this road that we already built here. So we're going to extend the road we've already built, essentially, is my thinking. It's a long way, it's a big road, but I don't think we've got much choice, mainly because there's no way it's going to work otherwise. Let's have a look at the mission itself. Repair the main power substation. The main power substation is malfunctioned, but it's fixable. Unfortunately, the old road leading there has been destroyed. Start by clearing trees and building a new road. In fact, that is what we did, to be fair. It just didn't. The mission didn't tell us to build a road, but it does say it there. It's weird. Deliver a truckload of wires and cooling equipment parked near the Nickel Avenue tunnel. Once the job is complete, the repair crew will handle the rest, and that will get the substation back up and running. Now, as far as roadway, there is a quicker route, but I think it's going to be harder to do because of all this down here. But yeah, I think that's our only choice really, is to build this road. Let me just, boy's message says he's at school. Hopefully, I say hopefully. I know that's what he's messaging for. There we go. Restore the communication network. We need to deliver an object from the transit point, just there, up to here, which is the central radio tower. Doesn't seem too difficult, apart from they look quite big. They look very, very big, which could potentially be a problem. And also, again, how do we get them there? There's no real road as such. There is a track going this way, which I think will come round somewhere here maybe, but we don't know for sure there. So that's something we've got to look at as well. I think we're going to start as we mean to go on. I think we've got to start building this road. So we built a road to here previously, and all our equipment's here, so we might as well extend this over and at least come up the track we left clear, and we go as far as we can this way. How are we for sand? So sand wise we're okay up to a point, so we can do sand all the way to here and then we're out of the zone, which is a potential problem. Well, they're saying that's not really sandy, is it? I was just seeing if we could actually put something on there to extend We don't know if there's another sand bit we haven't unlocked here yet, though. That's the only thing. So we'll be okay extending from the main power substation here up to here, and then we're going to have an issue with sand. I do wonder, maybe we should look at, because even here is going to be an issue with sand, isn't it, as well. I think we need to see what's up here first and foremost, because we know there's something there, we just don't know what it is. So maybe we need to have a look what's there, and maybe there is another sand area to open up there potentially. So I think first of all, let's just go for a little bit of exploratory drive. We'll jump into our Don 72 Malamute, and I think we head left here just to see if there is another sand area that we could activate. Obviously we'll have to fill these holes in where we build this road, but I just want to see what is this way. Just because knowing we're not going to have sand nearby potentially is a problem. But so the mission itself says to build a road, but it doesn't tell you to build a road. If that makes sense. It's not a mission related road. It's something you can just build. But because the mission says to do it, it makes sense. There's no way that Wayfarer is going to get anywhere near where it needs to without us building a road. Alright, what do we got here then? So there's a main road here, interestingly. The mountain tunnel is there. What we need is a sand pit roughly around here. Can't see a way into there just yet. We don't quite know what that is either. But there's a road down here. I want to see if there's a sand area down here really. Obviously tunnel is there. And that needs a bridge as well. There's no bridge going to that tunnel. So if we need to get something through there at some point, convoy or something like that, we are going to need to build a bridge. But yeah, I think we just need to check. If there's a sand area here, fantastic. If there's not, then we're going to have a problem. Well, it's not a problem. It's just something we have to deal with. Which is doable. It means it takes time. Another big building over there. Oh, that's good. That's a quarry. I think that's a quarry. Can we activate that for sand then? No, it's not. Okay, so we can put a machine here though with sand. That's a steel pipes facility. First time we've seen that so far. I'm guessing we're going to need to get that back up and running at some point. It needs power as well, by the looks of things. This looks like to be a sand quarry, but it doesn't look to be one in terms of, it doesn't tell us it is. We have got a machine potentially we can put there. Thanks for the like, followers, much appreciated. I don't know what the reach of that would be. Considering we're going to try and get this bit of road done here, we're going to need sand to it. And then we've still got this bit that's a problem. I say it's a problem, it's not a massive problem. It's just the fact it's going to take time. Because we have to keep going back to get sand. And we can extend that slightly. Just annoying not having a sand nearby. But yeah, we have got a vehicle we can use here. That will give us some distance. I just don't know how far. Plus we've got to get the vehicle there is the other issue. Let's keep going along the road and just see. Steel pipes facility here as well. We don't normally go exploring like this, mainly because we know where we're going and we just do it. But in this instance, finding that may be really helpful, depending. That's the thing. But I think we can utilise that with our vehicle. Obviously this is steel pipes facility, none of this is up and running as it stands. Big old place this, isn't it? Although we've driven through it, no new missions have appeared. There's a track going that way, which will lead us out, I'm guessing, to the transit point over here, to be fair. No, so we were looking at this mission here where we're going to deliver 2 of these up to the central radio tower. Now, their road leads up here to this main road, and then potentially we have to come round here and up here. So a road we build here will be helpful, although saying that, we've got to come up here. Wow. Although actually no, we can come down here and go round this way. We've got some rocks to move off the track. But potentially we could... then again, it's still going to have issues there, isn't it? We knew it wouldn't be easy. We knew it would be time consuming. But yeah, there's a track that leads this way. Not really needed to have a look at that this minute. I think we need to go this way. We're looking for somewhere... a quarry, essentially, is what we're hoping for. There's still pipes. No new missions have popped up, so we know that's not something we need to do as of yet. But I'm assuming at some point we'll have to get this back up and running. There's going to be a convoy from here at some point, or two here. Yellow door building generally means convoy start or finish place. We know that's going to be needed. Let's just quickly keep driving on. We know there's a quarry, area of sand there we can utilise. I don't know what the reach is going to be on our vehicle, that's the only thing. Right, let's follow this main road around this way. I'm curious to what that big building is. I'm just really hoping there's a quarry bit near it that we can utilise. Just so, otherwise it's going to be really slow building this road. Okay, so this goes around here. What's that? Okay, so that one's a road built there too. We don't know where... Wow, that's okay. That's a big old road, isn't it? So I'm guessing that's an infrastructure. Build road. Oh, no, that's electricity. I was on road, surely. Look at there. Yeah, that is a big old road it once built there. We don't know what that gap is. Potentially a bridge, maybe. That needs a big old road put there. So there must be sand nearby if that wants us to build a road. There's another road. Okay, this road here, it needs doing. Which we also need to come off this way anyway. Don't we? Yeah, we're going to have to. So that is a mission road, so we'll build that probably at the same time as coming across here to this bridge area. I think that's going to need a bridge as well, though. We need to check that out. But yeah, so there is another massive road to build, plus there's another road here around the sawmill area coming out into whatever this is here. Okay, so that's 3 roads. It's that are infrastructure based at the very least. So there must be a quarry nearby for those, I would assume anyway. Generally that's how it works. So we'll have a look what's in here. Does it name this yet? Oil treatment facility. So that's what this is. My guess would be there must be a quarry somewhere for helping build that road, surely. So this is the oil treatment facility. I'm assuming we'll have convoys coming here in due course. It makes the most sense. We might have to fix things here too, but I would assume convoys. What can we see down there? Lots of water. Just looking to see what we can see, because obviously whatever we find here that can help us build these roads, the better. So we've got at least 3 roads mission wise to build, plus on top of that we're going to need one for this Wayfarer anyway. There's quite a few roads to build. That's what takes the time in this. It's enjoyable doing them, but that's what takes the time, is building all the roads. Whoa, that needs a bridge. And there'll be a convoy at some point from that yellow door there. I would assume we need to replace pipes down there at some point maybe as well. There's that pipeline that we've seen going all the way through. So if we come out of over here, there's sand here, potentially. That could be sand there. Although I don't know if that will give us what we need. The issue is here, we're missing sand here, essentially. And so I moved the map around so I'll orientate myself. And we're also missing it here. So anywhere that gives us that opportunity to have sand there would be ideal. If we come back out and down here, I've got a feeling... Oh no, there's water there actually. I thought there was potentially sand there. There is sand there, but doesn't mean it's actually usable. Right, I kind of think we've explored as much as we can for the time being in terms of what's around us. I think now we need to crack on. So, I think we start by doing the road here. There's a pipe to replace there as well. That's mission related, because then we can link it to here, is my thinking. The only issue we have, like I say, is sand. Although that sand is covered there. And we have got a base here, so our road equipment that's down here currently, we can keep down here for the time being. And we can use some here. My thinking is what we do is we set up the sand vehicle so it lays sand this way. We need to have a proper look at this because we're going to need a pipe, aren't we? Not a pipe, a bridge is what I mean. Our bridge layer is here. We're going to need to go and buy a bridge. I don't think we've got much choice in the matter. We know it's needed. So we've got enough steel beams to go and buy a bridge. So let's do that first and foremost. No matter what, we know we need one. So, I know they're on the way. I don't want to go to garage, I want to buy a bridge. Okay, I think it's because that is in the wrong place. No, that's closed. Why is it not letting me buy a bridge? Oh, there we go. It just didn't show up. It was grayed over, but we could still do it. Okay. Now we need to position this where the road needs to go, I think, as well. We can get the sand at least laid immediately. In fact, we probably have the rusty version of the same vehicles to do roads, to be fair. So because we've got base operations here, that makes life easy in terms of this start point anyway. If we go to infrastructure, so the road it wants us to make, not there, next one, isn't it? That one. What we want to do is get this bridge on this line here, and then we'll get the sand going. Obviously the AI will do it for us. We'll have to extend because we need to make sure I think that's from a tarmac there. My concern is Wayfarer will get stuck. If we give an opportunity to get stuck, it will get stuck. So it's making sure it doesn't. But yeah, I think we'll go and put the bridge in place first where that road's going. We can then set the sand doing its thing and we can be doing other things. We need to get the bridge in first. If it wasn't the Wayfarer, it wouldn't be so bad. We could probably get round it without making a road. For the mission we're on. But because it's a Wayfarer, we've got no chance. Yeah, this is all quite good road here. So it should be okay. May need to extend a little bit just to make sure it doesn't get stuck anywhere. Yeah, there's no the tree there. That's the problem. Okay, so we need to move that from there. We need the machine to destroy it. We've got the one with the arm is probably the better one to use. We just need to break the tree down essentially. This one here should be fine. The MTK. We're left, don't we, here? We're going to have to put a road there. We may as well make sure the road is clear as much as we can anyway. I think today it's going to be a lot of road building. At least at the start. I'd like to get the main power substation up and running today if we can. It's just going to depend on the roads and how long that takes. That's the thing. And also the unit we need to get to the quarry on that northern side, we need to find out how we get there without all the roads being already in place, if that makes sense. Because obviously they're not going to be done yet because we're still in the middle of building them. So there's probably something we need to do first to enable us to get it there, but I don't know what yet. About looking again. That's what I really enjoy about this though. It's the constant having to think, you know, solve problems, figure a way around the situation. That's what I really like. I'm looking forward to more DLC coming. Be interesting to see what maps they add, because obviously the maps we've had so far with DLC have added something new to the game every time, something new to do. Oh, actually I need to be up there, don't I? So I'd be interested to see what they do next. You know, the first DLC map added the barrels that get damaged. This one has added is more about the bridge vehicles, because obviously we can't build bridges, we can only use the bridge vehicles, well, as it stands anyway. So that's been the focus of this DLC, so be curious to see what the new ones are going to have. Right, can we reach this from here? Obviously we've got to take this tree out no matter what. I don't quite know how this is going to go. There we go. Then we can see any more trees that need destroying. That will all disappear shortly by the looks of things. I can see more trees that are actually in the way of this. I didn't spot that. There's a group of trees there we need to get rid of. Obviously we can either chop them down, or we'll have to get rid of the roots, or we can just use this to destroy them. I think we might have to use this to just take them out. We don't need the wood, do we? I think we probably should chop them down first. Part of me thinks no, let's just, you know, get rid of them. But actually, we don't know if we're going to need the wood later on. So to play it safe, I think we probably need to chop them down. Okay. Having a few issues here, so we've kind of got ourselves in a bit of a ditch and stuck. Normally tracks you wouldn't think have that many issues, and we don't normally. But this is in a bit of a ditch, I think. Hence why we're building a road here. Okay. We are going to need to tow that out. We have got a vehicle here we can use for that. So that's the Wayfarer, that's the vehicle we've got to deliver, and there's no way that's getting there as it stands. And just how many issues we've got with just getting the actual bridge layer through there, so let alone a Wayfarer that doesn't drive in anything but asphalt. Look at this road, this is horrendous, this road. We'll see how we can do pulling this forward. I've got a sneaky suspicion maybe we need to put the sand down first, because this is really bad. Worse than I thought, to be fair. We'll be closer to it. I don't even know how towing this out's going to go. Right, we'll put the towing on, so it runs on its own steam as well. Just sliding everywhere, and these are vehicles that normally do okay in these kind of conditions. It is moving. It's that ditch that's the problem though. I need to get it out of that ditch. And I don't think it's going to be easy. Okay. The mud here is horrendous. Yeah, there's no way that Wayfarer would have made it this way at all. Not going anywhere, is it? Obviously we can hoik it out of there essentially. Didn't think it was going to be that bad. Wow. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be towing this anywhere. We can reset it back to garage, to be honest. I think we're going to need to lay sand down here sooner rather than later. Just look how deep the mud is. Even laying sand here I don't think it's going to be simple. Yeah, you can see where it's stuck as well, that's the problem. We'll try and pull it out from the other side. We may find it's better that way. If not, we'll have to reset it. But I think we're going to need to put sand down before we even try and go too far along here. Because this is horrendous. Didn't realise this roadway was that bad. Yeah, we're not getting out of there, are we? Okay. And this is just one part of this. The road we need to build for the mission we want to do needs a lot more than just this bit. It just made sense to do this bit first. Right, I think what we do, we reset this back to garage. It won't cost us anything. Highland base is, no, forest base. Right, let's reset back there. Too many vehicles in the way here at the minute. It's because when we open this up, they're the two vehicles there that we used to open it up. So they're still there because of that. Right, as part of that, we're not going to get that where we need to straight away. Right, let's think about this logically. There's a sand quarry there. Probably could extend that one, to be fair, maybe. Because currently, that gives us that. But I don't know if we put a vehicle there, the sand vehicle there, would it extend? Might be worth a look. But I think first and foremost, we need to put sand here. I think that's our first point of call. Because we're not going to get across this track otherwise. The trees in the way are a problem. I don't know if the crayfish will get there. Let's try and get the crayfish there now. Obviously, the crayfish isn't currently in use because we're using the DLC vehicles. Thank you for the like, much appreciated, it was. So we haven't used this yet. This has got big old tyres and more wheels, so hopefully we can get through a lot of that mud. We know the places to avoid now as well. Tracked vehicles generally do okay in mud, but the bridge now is quite heavy. That may be a part of the issue as well, and why it's getting stuck the way it did. The weight obviously does play a massive part. Yeah, there's a couple of trees to get out of the way. And then sand to where the bridge point is. And then, yeah, definitely we've just got to get this road done first, I think. And then we'll spur off it to do the connection point to the other side. And then we can join those two together. I kind of have a plan. It's just going to be time consuming, I think. Right, how are we with this mud? Better than the bridge layer. Obviously, it's a lot lighter than the bridge layer, so I think that does come into it. We only need to deal with the stumps as well. What are you doing stuff on? Right, so it's these here. So the first one is there. Just need to put this to the side really, for the time being. At least it's no, because although there's an infrastructure mission for this road, there's no mission for it. So there's a chance this will be a mission later on, and it just means you've done it in advance. It's never a bad thing. We'll leave these to the side in case we do need them later, and then we can always pick them up if we do. It's been such a time since we used this vehicle. We were using the DLC one in the last stream when we needed to do some trees out the way. And it went okay, to be fair. It wasn't decent. It just, once we realised you need to use it backwards, it made a big difference. This is so deep, this mud. Right, grab it from there. It's nearly covering the wheels. That's how deep this mud is. I don't even know how we're going to sand this without getting stuck, to be fair. I wasn't expecting to phase through that though, to be fair. I need that spin, which it did in the end. There we go. Right. Can we get through this mud? Can we get out of here? Or are we stuck? So deep. The map is called Washout for a reason. Nate, good morning, how are you? Yeah, it definitely lives up to its name, this map of Washout. We are moving, albeit slowly. just want to get slightly up here. There's another tree further on to do, and obviously that bridge needs putting in. I think normally I let the AI do the sanding. I think we need to do it, mainly because once he gets to that bridge point, we're going to stop. That's the thing. That tree not one so we can actually. I don't know. I don't think that's a tree. No, the tree's going to fall over. There you go. So it's not one we need to chop down then. This one here I don't think it's either actually. No, they're not. There are some trees the other side of this that we'll need dealing with. Admittedly. I think this one will fall over too. Let's push it. Maybe not. Yeah, that's not a tree that can be cut down. Okay. Right, I think it is. We drive this to the side here. We know we've got to add an extra road on. I think it's over the other side. I just want to see if I can park this to the side. We don't have to reset it back to the garage. How are you this morning then, Nate? If we have to reset the garage, we will, but if we're going to avoid it, it's even better. Although I don't know how we get out of this. We've had really bad maps in terms of flooding previously. I don't think they're anywhere near the level of this one, to be fair. Right, I don't know if this will make it, but we need to cut the tree we cut down, for the two we did. We need to get rid of the stumps. Again, this may get there, it may not. If it doesn't, it's fine. We'll do some of the road first. But ideally, we'd like to be able to get there. Trying to come off where the road is, just so we can go a bit more firmer ground for a minute. Tracks normally are fine in the mud, but I think here I don't think it's going to matter what you're using. Thing is, this again is quite heavy, so that's going to play a part in this mud, I think, as well. We're going to get to that little mound over there, which is where the stumps are. Either that or we're going to put the sand down first and drive along that, but we'll try and get there first, which means we can sand the whole thing in one go. We go in the tracks of the crayfish, may help us here. I don't think on the other base game maps there was one that had major flooding. I don't think the mud was anywhere near as bad as it is on this one. A whole new level. What I probably will do is get rid of this tree here as well. Where's that water? That water wasn't there till just now. The water's coming through the mud. Why is it not? I can't mulch. Someone allow us to mulch there, is it? No, so we just need to tip that one over them. My plan was to actually mulch it so it's out of the way anyway. There you go, it's gone. Right. Yeah, that water wasn't there, but obviously how deep the hole's got. The water's come in. I don't think we can get any. I don't think we can get there from here. I don't know, maybe. Just see how deep it is. It's mad. We've never had mud like this at all. We're going to be lucky to see if our sand vehicles can even get through this, to be fair. Right, we just need to mulch this out of the way. There we go, it's done. Right, let's run this out of the way again. If we have to reset these back to garage, we'll do that. But for the time being, they just stay where they are. Okay. We need to put this road down. Then we need to do the bridge and go that way. So, obviously all our road equipment's already busy elsewhere, but we have got others to use. It's nice to change different types. Some aren't as good as what we normally use, but it should be okay for what we need. I'm not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. Tired, but other than that, I'm okay. Right, I'm just getting these out of the way. Just it's annoying when you load the vehicle out. That's in the way there. My concern is obviously putting sand down in that area is going to be tricky because of how bad it is. But let's have a look what we can use. We can buy other vehicles if we need to, or we can buy a spare Arding Roadworks if we wanted to. That's the other better vehicles. That's what we've currently got out doing sand over the other side. Obviously, we normally would use the Bay Cow. It's normally our go-to heavy one. We'll give it a go. I've got a feeling we're going to need the tracks of the Aramatsu. We'll see. Let's try the Bay Cow first. Oh, I didn't realise that's out somewhere. I've just pulled it back in. I didn't mean to do that. I know we weren't using it for the other part, though. PS5. We play all our games on the PS5. What about you? What do you play games on? What we're going to do, we're going to actually fit in this mud bit here as well. I just think leaving here makes more... While we're here, we may as well do this bit to the side here at the same time. So, we open that a little bit. If we can't get out of the garage, you know, it kind of defeats the point, so we may as well put some sand down just to allow us to get out a bit easier. We'll see how far this goes, and if we have to use the Aramatsu instead, we'll do that. But I'm hoping... You play on the PS4, do you? Okay. What's your feeling about them stopping the PlayStation 4 games on PlayStation Plus? And a lot of the newer games aren't going to have a PS4 version. Does that affect you much, or are you not too worried about it? Normally we get the AI to lay a lot of this sand for, especially when we can on the roads it wants to do mission-wise. Just because I find I'm horrendous at laying the sand down evenly. But I think for this we want to do it manually. Because I think otherwise the AI is just going to keep getting stuck. So to avoid that, if we do it ourselves, less likely to get stuck. What I'm also thinking as well, when we do the bridge, what we'll do, I think we'll have to do, is kind of keep manoeuvring the bridge out of the way, because we kind of want it even on the other side, although it doesn't have to be. I was thinking more that we want the bridge to land on asphalt the other side, which means we'd have to get out of the way to lay sand, then get the asphalt vehicle across, put it out of the way, lay the asphalt. Maybe that's a lot. We won't need to have all that hassle, maybe. Don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, this isn't a road that it tells us to do, but it's just about making our life easier as we leave our garage there more than anything else. And then that's the mission road there, which we need to do for the Wayfarer mission anyway. But there's another bigger road to do that should spur off this one eventually as well. Just trying to do as much as we can, solve different problems all at once. Okay. Yeah, I think the AI will just keep getting stuck if we set the AI off, as we normally would, so I think we'll just do it manually. I don't even hold much hope that this will do it, to be fair. How come I can't? Right, there's still stuff in the back of the vehicle, but it won't allow me to go any higher than that, so... We may even need to use an extension using one of these heavy vehicles anyway to extend the quarry size, because what I'm going to have is once we get to where the bridge location is, no longer reaches, but we can park this here and extend and use a different one to finish it off. And I think that's going to be the same plan here. We are going to need more metal beams because we're going to need a bridge here for the road, Are we, actually? Do we just... Maybe we could sand that. Rather than bridge it, I may sand that and just bridge this one. I don't know how the road's going to be finished if we don't... If we put a bridge there, I don't know how that will count. So actually, that's something we've got to think about there, really. It's only just crossed my mind that actually we may need to... We may not be able to put a bridge there. I just don't know what will count the road. Okay, Joshman, good morning, how are you? Right. I say, normally we get the AI to lay roads for us because I'm horrendous at doing it evenly. But I think because of how bad this is, my concern is that AI will just get stuck immediately. Okay. But yeah, I'm wondering, I don't know if a bridge will count as building a road. That's my only concern there. Because obviously if you don't put the tarmac and the asphalt and the sand in the lines, they don't change colour, and you need them to change colour for it to complete. And I don't know where that pipe is. We may have to sand bridge it rather than normal bridge, just so we can then asphalt it so the lines can change colour. So they're turning yellow now where there's enough sand in place. But I'm definitely not driving evenly. How I do that? Yeah, well, I think it will just get stuck. Is my thinking. It'll just say can't go any further. Would be my thinking. There's not enough sand in this area here, hence why it's not changing colour. This is why we get the AI normally do the sand for us in the places it can anyway. There we go, it's changed colour now. And this isn't the worst bit. The worst is to come in a minute because the mud is horrendous. Yeah, that's definitely not even. We try and make the roads wider than it says anyway, so it's not the end of the world not being fully even. Because when we spread the sand, it will become even anyway, or will even out a lot more than it is now. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to getting to there. I'm thinking maybe we sand it. I think that may be the only way of getting that the way we want it, and then we save the bridge for the other bit. Trying to straighten up here. Let's put it down a second. Let's just straighten up. And my concern is this is going to get stuck in the mud anyway, and we're going to need the Aramatsu, but we'll see in a second. Just can't seem to get this to stay even because it's sliding on the mud. It doesn't stay in a straight line. Right. But this mud will get extremely high really quickly, as we've seen with the other vehicles. Definitely bringing out a new side of flooded map. Okay. Yeah, that bit there is saying not enough there, isn't it? Thought it might. But I don't think we didn't put any down. We missed the whole section there, by it seems. Is there any there? And there is there. I don't know why that was saying not covered then. There is some there. But yeah, I think the AI would just stop and say can't do any more essentially. My concern is though, if we put a bridge there, will it count? Because we need the colours to change obviously for us to complete the road. I'm having massive trouble trying to steer this in the mud. But will it count if we put a bridge there? Right. Start ticking a little bit at the very least. If this mud gets too much, we'll have to do this backwards. I think that's the only other way. Not enough there. But this mud isn't that bad at the minute. It's only going to get worse, as we've already seen. Definitely not, nowhere near straight. Colonel just started making the road for some of the Tsushima. Oh yeah. Yeah, we have to build a lot of roads here. We've got 3 roads on the infrastructure list. There's 3 roads to do, including this one. But the mission we're doing, we also need roads to make that work, because we've got to drive the Wayfarer. So that's at least 4 roads minimum we still need to do on this. And the one we need to do, which is going to spur off this one, is massive. No! No. It's the angle we're at, because that hill there has kind of gone a bit wayward. And now I'm stuck as well. There we go. That didn't go to plan, did it? But this is the mud bit I'm worried about. So far the Baykal has always been really good to us. It's never really got stuck, but I've never had this much issue trying to put sand down either. Never had this much of a problem. It's the steering that just isn't liking the mud. Right. I can see why it's stuck actually. There's a big hole there now. If we get some speed, we may be okay. We're just nose diving, aren't we? Okay. What we're going to do then is go round and reverse onto it, I think. Is the only way there. Come round here. There's a big old hole there, which is where we're getting stuck. So if we come round this way... It's closed. The tipper is closed. I shouldn't do that. This didn't look that bad. I thought the mud would be bad. I didn't think we'd have this much issue with controlling the vehicle. Right, obviously we need to fill this hole in, which is easily doable. It's this mud here I'm concerned about. It's so deep that even water's run into it. Yeah, I think this map road-wise is worse than Colonel. Right, let's fill this hole in. See how this handles mud. We've never really had any issues with this when it comes to mud. But again, I'm having issues with sand down. I know I'm not very good at putting sand down, more evenly than anything else. But this is more than just that. But yeah, the lines, we're stuck. The lines go through that pipework, which makes me think we can't just bridge it. I think we may need to sand over it and have a land bridge that way. Look at the water that's got into the hole. What I need to do, I need to try and come to the side here. Well, let's do. It's worse than I thought. Although the Baykal, as like I say, has never really put a foot wrong when it comes to mud so far. I'm not a massive fan of the fact we're stuck in the tree. But yeah, we may have to land bridge it rather than a proper bridge. That's the only way them lines are going to disappear. Right, I'm going to try and reverse back up now. That limb may be a problem. See how bad the mud is though, it's horrendous. Definitely the worst mud we've dealt with so far. Which is the whole point of DLC though, adds a new element, doesn't it, to deal with. Although this is dealing with it pretty well, I'm pretty surprised. Because obviously this isn't the lightest vehicle. But it's actually dealing with the mud pretty well. I really thought it would struggle more than it is. I was ready to get the Aramatsu here because it's on tracks. But actually I think this is doing it alright. That is a surprise, but a good one. Right. Just trying to get it where I need it is the problem now though. We put sand all over the place. I'm not worried about any of that. As long as we can hit the road dump. There's 2 piles of sand nearby. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Just trying to get it straight is the problem. Okay, let's open that up. There's a load of sand there now. We're still just in range of the quarry here. I might have to put the machine in place to extend because I think we've got to have to do a land bridge. But this is horrendous. Never had it this bad. Oh, definitely on par with Sunkern, yeah. I think this is even worse than Sunkern, to be fair. This is the start of the map isn't too bad, to be fair. The start of the map is fine. It's when you get to this point of this middle area that it starts really changing and becoming more of a problem. But the actual start of the map is absolutely fine. Okay. Obviously we need sand here. I need the sand to a point, then we're going to need to turn round. Because we're going to have to reverse sand the next bit. There we go, stop. It's nearly drowning us. Right, I need to turn round now, because we're going to need to reverse sand the bit we're heading towards. This is not going to be easy. Okay, how big these holes are still a problem. Stop. I was going to try and fill in that hole a little bit more. Look at that, put sand there for that hole. Okay. Well, let's fill it, because you can drive while it's filling. Let's try and turn round. And then we're going to reverse all the way there. And then we're going to get to a point of where we're going to need to extend the quarry, which is 2 different ways of doing that. We'll try the first method with the vehicle first. We're stuck. Come on. So far, although it's been really awkward to manoeuvre this, I'm still pretty impressed with how it's dealt with the mud. In all honesty, I really thought we'd have more issues. I only just put it in low gear, which I thought we'd need to do that a lot sooner than we have. Okay. Obviously, this isn't the best going over the hills, so we may have some issues getting to where we need to, which we'll see. Although doing things like that actually helps, to be fair. We are making a bit of a mess of it, but as long as we get to where we need to, not the end of the world. Come on. And we will end up leveling this out anyway, so it's not an issue. Okay. Doesn't like that bit. There you go. Right, stop that. Okay, so we open a little bit, close, reverse a bit more, open, close, reverse a little bit more. We've done a few land bridges like this previously, to be fair. Okay, we're not in the quarry zone anymore. We did think this could be a problem. So, 2 ways of dealing with this. I don't know if the first way will work. But let's try it at the very least. Does it come under these? We'll know pretty quickly if it doesn't work. It's not there. We want the... I don't remember the name of it. The vehicle that makes sand further. I just can't think of the name of it. Otherwise, we just need to put another heavy vehicle nearby. And we'll jump off that one. Where are you? Ah, this here. It is the... I don't know what it's called. The mobile scraper. Scalper. That thing. So this will either allow us to extend the quarry. If it's not enough, we'll have to use a heavy vehicle to do it instead. Hoping this will allow us to extend it, potentially. It all depends on what radius this then gives us. It may not even be enough. But then we could always jump off this one if we need more. That's the thing. Right, we'll get as far over here as possible. May not add too much to what we're doing, but we shall see. Right, try that. Right, that's activated now. It's not going to add that much, is it? No, it's not. It's not helped us at all. Yeah, that's not helped us. It's not extended our reach like I wanted it to be fair. Okay, well, you live and learn. What we want to do then is we need another bay cow. We've got the rusty version, which will be fine. So jump in the rusty version. Is that the rusty version? That's not... That is, yeah. It just doesn't look very rusty. And what we're going to do is just park this further along, and we'll have to refill this one and jump between them, because this becomes a mobile quarry then. We'll try and stay off the sand and go up where the trees are, I think. But yeah, we're just going to turn this one into a mobile quarry, and we'll jump off that one in terms of refilling. You'll understand what I mean in a second. We've done it previously, to be fair. The only thing is we have to keep jumping back to it to refill it. That's the only downside, but then we can carry on while it's refilling. Right, just watch out for the tree stumps. I didn't see all the tree stumps when I was thinking about this. Can you get up the hill or can't you? You're not going to get up that hill, are you? Obviously, we won't be able to drive on the sand. This will be all over the place. Hence why I'm not driving over it. Yeah, the scalp I thought may help, but I wasn't 100% sure, mainly because of its reach. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. Right, we want to go alongside the sand here. Even if it gets stuck, it's going to give us something. That's why I'm not too worried. It will still increase reach to a degree. I want it kind of on the edge though, if possible, of where the zone is for the sand. If we can get to the edge part, that will help massively. As long as it doesn't tip over and get stuck. Come on. I'm not worried about the sand coming out. That's not the end of the world. It's getting stuck. I don't want. Right, let's tip the sand, because that may lift the back wheels a little bit. There we go. There's going to be a lot of excess sand laying around, admittedly. There we go. Let's lower it down. Yeah, the excess sand isn't a big deal either. It's just going to be there. Oh yeah, I'm not worried about the harvester being pushed. It's only there because there's a couple of trees in the way of where we were going, that's all. Okay, how far can we get? So right on the edge would be really good. If we can. Still moving. Right, we'll stop probably where these trees are for the minute. Okay, that'll do. So now we've increased the range to here now, rather than where this orange circle is. We've increased that range to here because now that becomes a mobile quarry unit. So if we now jump back into this one, we can now refill, whereas before we couldn't. As I say, we will need to keep jumping back into that one to refill it. That can be refilling while we're using this one. Okay. Need to go back a little bit here. Go back a bit. Come on, a little bit. Just a little. Stop there. A bit more sand. So it's a little bit at a time is the only way of doing this. As I say, we have had to do this previously. Not the first time. Wheels are getting stuck. Can we go back now? Yeah. Doesn't solve all our problems, but at least it's a lot of it. Because it's just the extra reach we've now got will make a big difference. We probably could turn, once we get over here, we can probably turn around and try and go forwards again. But we've got to get over here first. But yeah, we've had to do this previously. It's not the first time I had to build a bridge like this. Kind of got a bit squiffy though. I wanted it more straight than what it is. I don't really want to get the turn that I need. Right. I wanted it straight just so it made life a little bit easier, but we're kind of getting a bit all over the place with the sand. And I don't want to tip over accidentally, which is what might happen in a second. No, we're okay. We don't want the back wheels to go off the sand. That's the only issue we've got. Then back wheels go off the sand, we have an issue. As long as we can keep them on the sand, it's fine. Okay, pull it down and refill. But yeah, I don't know how the lines would have worked if we were doing a proper bridge here. This is why we got the bridge vehicle nearby, but then we thought about the lines, because that wouldn't show as yellow with a bridge. That's the issue. So I don't think we have much choice but to do it this way. Okay. As I say, I would like to turn around, I think. I don't know how muddy this side's going to be. There are some trees here that could potentially be a problem as well. We may need to get rid of them first, thinking about it. We may need to level out the sand to this point, just so we can get the vehicle to destroy the trees down here. Because we've got to follow this line. Normally we could divert around them if it was our own road, but because it's an actual infrastructure road, we have to do it the path we want to do. There are a few trees in our way. Now we can cut them down, admittedly, and doing so should be okay. And then we'll have to stump grind as well. Yeah, I think let's do that. So what we do, are we outside the quarry radius? Yeah. So I can move this slightly forward now, and that will increase the quarry radius again, not by much but enough, hopefully. This needs to stay within the quarry radius itself though. which I think is just about in there. There we go. Yeah, I think what we need to do, we need to level out this sand so we can get vehicles to this point at the very least. And then I want to turn around ideally anyway, I think. So in doing that, this is either going really well or really badly, depending on the mud. Oh, that's not too bad. I just knocked the tree over instead of actually cutting it down. I may just be able to knock them over, to be fair, rather than cutting them down. Let's see. That one's gone. Okay, we may not need to cut them down. We may be able to get around it. We wanted to go forwards anyway. Where that sand came out is just causing us a few issues because of the depth of the mud as well. Okay, so that's not a bad thing, that tipping. Okay, we can straighten up. It may be okay now. It's not the best road we've ever done, but it's worked considering the mud and everything else. I think it's actually gone okay. Considering how this looked like to start with and how deep the mud was, there was concerns that this vehicle wouldn't even be able to move forward. But I must admit, I'm impressed by the Baycal and how it handles mud. Definitely a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I really didn't think it'd even get this far with that mud, just because of how deep it was more than anything else. Well, we probably are out of the zone, I guess would be. Yeah. I thought we might be. So you can see where the zones now don't meet. So we either need to reverse up to try and get back in the zone. In fact, I think that's all we can do. Or I drive forward and get to there to fill up and then come back. We haven't got much to do. And also, it's a fence. Okay. I think we drive forward. I think that's probably our best bet. Rather than trying to get back over the sand, there's no point. We might as well do it this way. At some point there's going to be a convoy here as well, because that yellow door there says convoy, essentially. So there will be a convoy having to use this road, so it's definitely good we've done it. But we've still got our main road for the main mission to do, which is where we need to spur off the one we just built. Can I get in the zone here? Yeah, should be able to. Obviously we don't want to tip over, but I want to be just inside here. And that should be back in the real refill zone. There we go. And while we're filling, we can move. That's the thing. Even though we're going out of the refill zone now, you can still move while it's refilling. And as long as you're in the zone to start the filling, you can be out of it for the rest of it. It is definitely a workhorse. I really thought, because how heavy it is and the depth of that mud being as bad as it is, I thought we'd really struggle. But actually, it's been quite impressive how it's dealt with the mud. Yeah, it's gone a bit iffy at times and we couldn't control the steering very well. But it carried on going forwards, which I really thought we'd have to change to the Aramatsu just because on tracks. But that may have been even worse, to be fair. So yeah, pretty impressive how it's done. This has always been the go-to for roads anyway for us. It's never had to work the way it just has though. But once this road is done, that's only half the problem dealt with. We've got our road we need to do for the main mission, just so we can actually get the vehicles when we need to for that. And that's a whole different kettle of fish. Okay. How is that looking now? There's an orange bit there that says there's not enough sand there, essentially. But when we level that out, that may be absolutely fine. We'll know when we level. So let's just park this out of the way for the minute. In fact, we'll get it refilling while we leave it here, just because I think we're going to need it again shortly. We're going to lay the road before we spur off it, mainly because it's going to make our life a little bit easier, I think. A bit more forward. There we go. Right, so we're now going to level this out. Track log kit. No, we haven't. Did we try it? I don't think we have. Offhand. Logging. We tried that in the last stream, didn't we? To cut down the trees. I don't think we picked them up though. Which one is it the Greenway Cross? We'll know more from the shop, won't we? I think it's the Greenway Cross. No, it's that one, the log forwarder, the Aramatsu Forest Neo. We haven't tried that yet, no. We haven't had to pick the logs up from when we cut down previously. When we do, obviously, that's the one we're going to use, because we haven't used it before, as it's new. Carries 15 ton though, to be fair. That's the tree harvester we tried. Which one do we normally use, log forwarder? That one, I think. How much does that carry? 15 ton as well, actually. That's the one we actually got on with really well compared to others. I think it was that one anyway. We've tried loads of different ones and struggled with majority. Was it that one we liked? Might have been that one, actually. But we'll try the new one once we get to it. Have you tried it yourself, Crazy Archman? Okay, we're going to use the rusty version of the Pioneer, only because obviously a lot of our road stuff is a different area where we finished building a road, but we also need to add on to that. I don't want to take anything away from there if we don't have to. So we'll use... Oh, actually, where's that now? Why is it there? Just working out if there's a reason it's there. Is that from... Oh, that's from when we did this road here. This road... this sand here. Okay. Trying to work out why it's where it is in case we need to leave it there, but actually no. That's from something previous. We want to be down... There we go. I can't see where I am now. Oil treatment. We're over here, aren't we? There we go. So yeah, we'll call back the rusty version. And then deploy that out. The other one is where it needs to stay for the time being anyway. So we're going to level up the sand and do this road fully, and then we're going to spur off to start doing the road that we need for the main mission. Because the main mission requires us to drive a Wayfarer quite a distance, but annoyingly for all this mud, and it will not do it without a road. It won't even do it on sand, it will just get stuck. Hence I was hoping there was any vehicle but the Wayfarer, but they didn't. On Colonel speed is not... Oh really? What, really slow or too fast, which makes it more difficult to use? Or is it just really slow? It looks like it shouldn't be. It should have a decent speed, to be fair. But then tracks are slower than wheels, aren't they? That's the thing. But this is an extra bit we put in of the road, just so it makes us able to get out of our base a little bit easier. This wasn't obviously on the plan for the infrastructure road. But this was just to make our life a little bit easier. Okay. And then we'll do this bit here, we'll level this out. As I say, we need to spur off just after the pipe to do the other road. The issue we've got is sand. We need to work out what our best play is there, because there's no real sand connections we're going to need. We'll work all that out once it's done. At least this is the start of us being able to drive the Wayfarer. Oh, slower than this. Oh wow. Considering you need to drive it to the location, pick it up and then drive to drop off, being that slow isn't good. Okay, that's interesting. We'll have a look when we use it. That's not good though. This is going to have a few dips and things. It's not going to be one whole level, but I suppose it makes it interesting. Who wants a road that's fully level? The reason we use the Pioneer now, it's an in-game leveler, obviously the rusty version, but it does make the road so much wider. The piles of sand that are here we'll just ignore. We don't need to use them. They're not in the way. They'll stay where they are. But it does make the road a lot wider, which helps massively. Right, how is this all going to level out? Not too bad, actually. Well, that would be a bit awkward to level, but actually not too bad. So our spur off is just along this edge of thing over here. We'll have a proper look once this is done. I actually might be up here. You're right, to be fair. We know at some point there's going to be a convoy coming through here. That's the thing. Right, will this now say there's enough sand that it will, yeah. I did think maybe once leveled that would be okay, and it is. Okay, that's all leveled out, which is another job done. Let's chuck this over here for a minute. We are going to need to use this again shortly. So when I'm saying we're spurring off this, we need to spur off here to this road here, or we come across this way. Either way, we want to get to this point. I suppose if we don't want to put a bridge here, we should probably be about spurring along here. So if we put sand along here, and obviously we need to build this road down here, because we've got to get across to all the way down here and this road down here. That's the only way of getting the Wayfarer where we need to. That's why we've got to do all these other roads to make one road work. Yeah, they're on kernel, they are. The track is just really slow, is it? That's weird though. I thought it would have a decent speed, to be fair. There's no reason for it to be that slow, surely. Okay, what we do from here, I think we start going along here. I know we obviously still need to asphalt this, and we'll do that, but I think with the more we can do in one go, the better. Like I say, you can see the issue we're going to have, and it is going to be sand. Because that sand quarry reaches to there, and then it's stuck. I wonder, don't know if it'll work, I wonder if we can put our scalper on the sand that we've tipped down over here, and if it would count for us to be able to put sand over here. I think it's worth a little look. Obviously this needs to be in an area where there's sand. You can't put it anywhere else, but there is sand there now. We dropped it. Whether that will work, I don't know. If it does, that helps us massively. Obviously if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. Now the sand's been levelled, we should be able to get there a little bit easier. But yeah, the issue we've got with this whole road system that we need to do, and the mission even says about it, it's just not an infrastructure issue. It just says build a road without giving you directions. Is obviously lack of quarries is the problem. And there's nothing worse than we keep going back and forward just to get sand. So the more you can do by other means, the better. So now this is all leveled out. Let's follow this. This may not work, but if it does, I think it'll help us massively. Obviously we need to asphalt this anyway. Happen shortly. That road can't be finished till this is asphalted anyway, so we will have to do it. Can't just leave it sand. But also, for anyone who's not used the Wayfarer before, the Wayfarer still doesn't like sand either. Asphalt or nothing for the Wayfarer. Okay, so this part of sand to our left coming up here, I wonder if this will count. It's this pile here, I'm thinking. We can block the road slightly, that's not the end of the world. Okay, does this count? It's not there. No. I thought it might, but it's not. I don't think it's going to allow it. No. So although there is sand there, it doesn't count. It was worth a look. Right here. No. Okay. Well, we tried. I think it was definitely worth a look, because we're trying to extend these quarries is the problem at the minute. Right, so if we bring this one, ideally on the road if we can, but it's quite a journey up. I don't know if this will get on there. if we get onto that roadway, we want to be on the edge of the zone for sand, for the quarry, and that will give us a little bit more reach. These heavy trucks hold the most sand as well, so the Aramatsu, although it looks bigger, holds less sand than this does. I think this holds twice the amount of the Aramatsu. So when you look at the two, you wouldn't expect that. It's not going to go up there, is it? Let's keep it in the front end. We're just going to try and extend that quarry radius is all we're trying to do for the second road. And that's only the first problem with the second road. There's a lot more problems with it as well, but it does need doing. Come on, up that last bit. Ah, so close. Oh, actually, come on. We've done it. It's up. Okay. So we just need to make sure we're in the right at the edge of where the quarry reaches, which I think is roughly over here somewhere. So when that grey's out on the bottom left, we know we're out of the zone. There we go. So we can go back in it here. There we go. So it's not extended it massively, but it's something. But that's right on that edge now. What I'm going to quickly do is get rid of this, mainly because it's annoying me because we're seeing the zone for that and we don't want to see that. I'd have been better off just going straight into there and recalling it, I think. Where are you? I don't want to keep thinking it's a different zone. That's the thing. Right, that's retained. Right, if we jump into this one here, we'll start the next part of road we need to do. Which obviously isn't going to, there's no directions for it, we just need to do it as part of this repair the main substation. I just wish the Wayfarer was more versatile. I think that's what needs to happen. The DLC coming in March, we need another truck similar to the Wayfarer, but better. That's what we need in March. I went when you tried it before. Oh, did we try? Did we? I didn't. Yeah, I didn't know we tried. I couldn't remember we tried. To be fair, I wish I'd seen your message, your chat before I actually did it. But yeah, I couldn't remember we'd actually tried it. Right, the only issue we're going to have obviously here is going to be mud. It's handled the mud really well previously. Will it do the same now is the question. And obviously we need to make it so we can turn off there. So it can't just be a dead straight area. It needs to be a kind of turning. There we go. Right, my thinking is we just want to head straight as much as we can here until we hit the bit of road we're joining to. Should be able to knock this tree over. I'm so impressed with how this is done in the mud. I really am. Right, that can refill there. The only issue is now is refilling, because that is on the edge of the refill radius of this. So that's we'll have to keep coming back on ourselves to refill, or drive this closer each time and then send it back again, rather than keep going back and forth with this one. We'll work that as we go, I think. Yeah, lack of quarries is going to be our problem for this whole roadway. For those that aren't aware of what we're going to do, I'll show you quickly what we're going to do for anyone that's just joined us. Thanks for the likes, much appreciated. Sorry I haven't seen them earlier. Much appreciated. So the mission we're doing several things at once. There's an infrastructure mission for a road from the repair shop to the gas station. We've already sanded that, leveled it out. That's good. We're spurring off that because the main mission we're doing is repair the main power substation. So the power substation is all the way down here. We've already previously on a previous stream built roads going this way to the oil pumps, which brings us down here to the Highland base. So that roadway's helped us massively. But we need to deliver parts to the main power substation, get back up and running. To do that, it's given us a vehicle to drive, which is the Wayfarer. And for those that aren't aware, the Wayfarer is the worst vehicle in the game. If it's not on asphalt/tarmac, it won't go anywhere. So we need to build a road. We're going to extend off this road here. And part of the missions originally was I missed to get my words out. When we started this mission, we had a bit of just clearing the trees and build a road, is what it told us, which was coming up here. We cleared all the trees like it told us to, and it had different zones for us to clear. But it never gave us the road to build, not like the infrastructure one we're doing now. So we still need to do that. We need to put a road through here and join onto this one. The problem we have once we get to here with the road is that this is all cracked from the water running off the hill. So we need to somehow join to this, and this road actually comes all the way through here. Hence why we're joining this bit, the infrastructure road, to this bit of road, because it all joins up. The issue we have is sand. So the quarry radius, we've got this one here, which reaches about that little bit up the hill where we need to go. And that's as far as that one reaches, so we're going to have to put another vehicle here, I think. And there's no sand quarries here. And that's where our problem lies. Is somehow we've got to try and extend that. Now, we have found a sand area here, next to the steel pipe facility that we just explored and found earlier looking for quarries. That is a big sand area, so potentially the scalpel we just had trying to use may be able to go there and give us some reach of sand to here, maybe. But we need to have a look at that in due course. But first, we're just trying to join the road we've just done for the infrastructure to the road we want to do as part of the main mission. It's unusual for it not to have given us the actual road layout itself, but it's one of those things. It says to build a road, and the only way to get the Wayfarer where we need to is to build a road. So it still needs doing, even though it's not giving us the layout of the road, if that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. Right, we're out of radius. I thought we might be. I think I need to flatten this and then drive this kind of to here, unload into that one, come back here, fill back up again. Yeah, it's going to be a constant convoy like that, I think. And then we also need to try the scalper over here. So we need to just jump back into the leveler, the Pioneer. We need to level off the bit we've just done, and then behind this we'll drive the other bay cow. Having two does help massively. We still need to sell some of the bridge vehicles as well, since we have like 6 bridging vehicles. Because when we first started using them, before we got to this map, or when we first started this map, it didn't tell us you could actually replace the bridges once they're laid out. You can actually then buy new ones using steel beams. Didn't know that. It was only halfway through the map we then found out that, because it told us. Before that, we'd already bought 6 of them, because we didn't think you could replace the bridges already laid out. So we do need to sell some of them bridging vehicles if we need money, but at the minute we don't need money, so it's not an issue. I think that turn there is actually okay. I was a little bit concerned how that would go, but that's not too bad. Right, that's there. So now if we jump into this one, this is loaded. We follow the sand. Obviously, the more we do this, the more this sand is going to degrade a little bit, so we do need to do some tarmacking sooner rather than later. Asphalt and tarmac, it's the same thing. It's probably got different materials used in it, different chemicals maybe. Basically the same thing. But this needs to get to a position where it's in the same radius, and then we can load the other one. Yeah, so that's now in that radius of this one, I think. Ah, so it's not quite close enough. That would be now. Do it a bit easier, jump between vehicles. Right, that one's there. I don't know if this will work. I want to try something. Can we drive away? we can. I wasn't sure if we could, so while that's still filling from this vehicle, we can actually drive this away to go and fill up again. I weren't sure if we could or not, but actually it does work. So we need to get to the point where the refill sand bit goes light again so we can use it. A bit further back. You gonna let me? No? A bit further back. Come on. There we are. What I might do actually is wait and then we'll drive. In fact, we can drive forward while this is loading, can't we? So now we're out of the zone, but we can still use it. We'll head back down that way again. I can't think of another way of doing this other than this. It's a little bit tedious, but it's the only thing I can think of that works. Now, it does show this turning here isn't the best. You may need to play with this a little bit. I'm going to keep reversing the turn. But we'll figure that out. Because the Wayfarer turn is going to be a lot tighter than that because of the trailer on the back. Okay. I thought we'd have an issue with this mud, but actually the Bakel is so impressive. Okay, so this is the road we're joining to. Okay, we're now at sand. So this is the road we're going to join to, and potentially the Wayfarer may be able to drive on it, but I think it's still going to have issues. It will just keep constantly getting stuck. So let's carry on flattening this to join back up. At some point we need to replace a pipe there by the looks of things, but the steel pipe facility needs to be up and running first, and we haven't got a mission to get up and running as of yet. I think once the main power substation's back up and running, we're going to have a lot of cable laying to do, I would guess, looking at some of the locations. Okay, now we can jump into this one. We need to drive this basically forward. Yeah, that's a good point. Pop a marker, to be fair. I didn't think of that. Although every time you drive the marker, it will disappear, I think. We kind of know where it is. Right, now it's refilling. As I say, we can drive this one, just reversing it back the whole time. It's weird that you can move this one while the other one's refilling from it, to be fair, but it works, so I shouldn't really complain too much. Yeah, we're going to need to do something with this turn here, maybe fill in this little bit of a gap here, maybe. Might be the way around that. In fact, I might do that in a minute, just to save this constant. I'm going to change how we're driving. Yeah, I think this just needs filling in a little bit, just to allow for this turn to be slightly better. Yeah. Caught the front bit. You can make the turn, I just don't know how the Wayfarer is going to make it, that's my only concern, and obviously we want it to be as easy as possible when using the Wayfarer. But I got that turn messed up massively. What I think we need to do is just go along this edge and just put a bit more here. And be careful not to drown the vehicle, though, it's silly. Don't do that. Nah. Okay, it's bounced, it's okay. It actually tipped it out for me, just a sideways tip rather than a normal tip out. It worked. Wasn't what I intended, but it worked. Exactly where I wanted the sand as well. I'm amazed at how well that went. When it started tipping, I was like, oh, please don't. On map view, yeah, we could. But like I say, every time we drive that marker, it will then disappear. Right, while it's there, let's quickly jump back into here. Obviously we now need to pretty flatten that corner out. Just to see if we need any more there as well, to be fair. Not very quick going backwards this, but it's better going forwards. And yeah, this will all need asphalting anyway. I'm not too sure where we're going to get to before we stop this convoy and go from the other side. Might even need more sand here actually, I don't know if that's going to be enough. Oh, that might be okay. The issue is more is if we dip down, taking the corner. All I want to do is make sure we can take the corner okay. And it doesn't matter if you get a bit too tight or a bit wide. That's all my thinking is. Just level this out a little bit more. I think that's okay. We'll know more when we try and asphalt it, because that could then pose a different issue. And you can set the mark and kind of. Oh really? Oh, okay, I didn't know that. We'll jump, put a marker down then when we jump back in the other one in a second. Okay, let's jump back into the first one. Okay, we want to join the sand here then to this roadway. It's obviously a broken down roadway, it's not going to be the best. There may even be tree stumps in the way, which will be a completely different issue. Now we don't have to follow the roadway exactly where it currently is, but I think we should follow it to a degree. But we are going to get to a point of where there are going to be holes in the road, hence here. But then we can do a backwards bridge as we did previously, to be fair. Okay, we need to flatten and then jump in the other one to deliver sand to it. And then, yeah, we just need to pick a point of reference of where we're going to go from the other side, because we still need to do that bit there as well. Obviously, when we have more things to do going this way, having a road already built is going to make our life a lot easier. So doing infrastructure like this seems really tedious to start with. But once it's done and in place, it makes life so much easier. There we go, there's the marker for where we need to get back to refill this sand. See how a new corner looks? Corner works really well. Happy days. I can actually take off low gear, we don't need it. But yeah, infrastructure takes time, can be a bit tedious sometimes, but actually it speeds everything up massively in the long run. That's the thing. Right, refill. Jump back to this. The only annoying thing is having to reverse the whole time. Although this can reverse at quite a decent speed, to be fair. And we can now see, thanks to Crazy Irishman, we now can see the marker we need to get back to. We'll refill from that. I think once we get to that hole, maybe that's the time to then go from the other side, maybe. And then all this needs asphalting and rolling. There's going to be lots of asphalting and rolling to do. I think I put the marker, yeah, front of the vehicle essentially is where the marker is. Drive this forward. If there was a quarry nearby, this would make this a lot quicker and easier. But then it's not meant to be easy, is it? It's meant to be solving the problem. And that's exactly what we're doing. Went a little bit off track there. But yeah, this will be a lot easier once it's all asphalted and done. So the big issue is that if this wasn't the Wayfarer we want to do this mission for, we wouldn't have to do any of this yet. But then I think long term this will help massively. Right, we're heading... This kind of goes over here. We can probably cut a little bit off. We don't have to follow the road itself. We come through here and join onto here, maybe. Depends on tree stumps and stuff, and trees. In fact, can we cut through there? There's a few trees around, so we may be able to knock down. I'm not sure. Maybe we should follow it as it intends to avoid some of these bits. Yeah, it's deceiving sometimes how much sand you've still got in the back, and you think you're out as well. There we go, out now. And if anyone knows a quicker way of doing this, do let me know. This is the only thing I can think of that's going to work in terms of convoying the sand where we need it to be. Can't see anything else that would work for this. Whereas this does work, that's the thing. It's just time consuming. Let's go around the corner. Obviously there's a quicker way of jumping between vehicles that I probably should be doing. Okay, reverse this back to our marker. I don't know how many loads this is going to take either, that's the other thing. I suppose if it's lots and lots of loads, this is going to be very time consuming. I can't see a quicker way though of driving the Wayfarer to where we needed to go either. It's quite a long distance it's got to drive. I suppose the only other way would be, so even putting it, we'd have to put a road in here and go through the swamp, which obviously again is going to be a problem. There's no other way. We could probably go this way, but it's a really long way round going that way, and even then the roads again aren't tarmacked. So that itself would be a problem. I think this is the only real way of doing this that we can find or think of. And it is working, it's just time consuming. That's the thing. Wow, where's the day going? It's only 10:15. Wow. I didn't realize the time has flown. We've done some exploring today and we started building this big road. And so the infrastructure thing we can finish whenever we want. We just need to start to asphalt it. I kind of think we may as well asphalt it kind of in one go. The sand is the time consuming part. Once the sand's done, everything else will be really simple, and I wouldn't say quick, but it will be a lot easier. Swamp would take longer. Exactly, it would take a lot longer, and I know the bay cows are amazing so far. Doesn't mean it won't get stuck on that kind of thing. Okay. Okay, so this is the road that already is, well, I say road, it's more of a track, but that's here. We want to follow this to a degree. We don't know what the road's like further on, that's the only thing. It's still under the fog of war area. Stop. You're going the wrong way. There we go. If we follow this track for the time being, until we get to that fog of war area, I think. So yeah, we keep laying the sand all the way through here. The aim is to get to here, and then I think we'll come from the other side. Although we're still going to have the same issue, I think. The only thing we thought of, maybe, is the scalper there, didn't we? But again, we've still got to do all of this road to get the scalper to even get there. Because there's no connection point from over here unless we build it. And the mission to come bring stuff up here, which is our other mission, the only other mission we have, again, is going to have issues because of this. Although potentially, once we build our road, we could possibly join. I don't know. Something like that. Right, let's get this leveled out. Yeah, I can't think of a better way of doing this or a quicker way. I think no matter what, this is the only real way of doing it. As I say, if it was any other vehicle than the Wayfarer, this wouldn't be a problem. We could probably get away with it, but it's the Wayfarer that causes you have to build roads, because it is that bad. Okay, that's doing that. While that's refilling, we need to go back and refill this one. The plan is kind of, instead of using any other equipment after this, we could asphalt from the power station, the substation, and just asphalt through once it's joined up, because the asphalt was already there, and then we can use the one we want to use that's wider anyway. But yeah, there's still, we had a look on the infrastructure missions earlier, and there was still another 3 roads to build, I think it was, excluding the ones we're doing now. And so one of those is an area we've not even been to yet. It's northwest of the map. So that'll be interesting to see what we've got to deal with there, because there's a big gap in the road where it turns to build it. So there's obviously a bridge or something needing putting in. But yeah, very impressed with the bakehouse. I really didn't think they'd deal with that mud as well as they have. That's been really impressive, to be fair. If there's anything in this, it's just time consuming. That's the thing. As I say, this will make, long term, this will make things a lot easier. May need to quickly just put some sand here, to be fair. Make that corner better. I can even see us getting stuck there a few times. Yeah. We need to come back and flatten that in a minute. I should have used the quick change. I keep forgetting about the quick changeover between vehicles. So used to going on the map, jump in the next vehicle, and I can't use the quick change. Okay, we don't know what we're going to face as we come around this corner, other than the hole that we've already seen. So there may be more to this. We just don't know. Okay. We need to quickly turn this around because I need to flatten off the other bit we've just done. Only because this will have to reverse back in a minute anyway. Come on. You can see how deep the mud is. Even off, I didn't realise the mud on the side there was so deep. Wow. It's gone down a lot. More than I expected actually. I didn't think that was anywhere near that deep there. We're finding that a lot of these areas though, if you see a muddy, swampy area, although we've drained this, to be fair, we did drain this swamp. That could be one of the reasons why it's so deep, because this was part of the swamp we drained. Come on, you can get up there. You can't get up there, can you? There's me thinking we could just go back and just make this corner a bit better. And not quite. Can't get up, don't let me get up there at all. Can't even turn. Right, see if we can go straight here. I just want to make this corner so when we use it we can actually turn properly. Come on. Yeah, you can see the kind of mud we're dealing with, how deep it is. Come on, we're so close to just being on the sand. Sliding off though. Nick, walnut tree. Mess this up a little bit more than I wanted. Let's try sand flattening. No. Ah. You can, yeah, driving and turn, it does have an issue. Right, the easiest way to do this then, rather than mess around, is recover this to our forest base, and then we just drive along the sand we've already put down. Trying to be clever and go and level out that corner and just went off the beaten track, and yeah, that mud's a lot worse than we realised. A lot worse. But then we now know how bad that mud really is. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. But there we go. Lessons learned. Don't go off the track we've put down, because it won't end well. I don't know if we was in the proper version of this rather than this one. This is the rusty version, because the other one's out where we're going to be using it shortly. So I don't know if the rusty version, because it's got less power, maybe had something to do with us getting stuck there. Whatever it was, it's not a good place to be. And mud is really bad. But then this is all swamp that we did drain, so that would explain it, to be fair. Okay, so this was the corner that we were trying to sort out. Thinking ahead of driving the Wayfarer this way, we've got to allow for it to turn, and obviously it's a big vehicle that's long, so we need to be able to make these turns a little bit easier for it. We need some sand just to make sure we can asphalt this as well, because if that dips off the road, it's going to have issues. There we go, nice and wide to allow us to get around there. Now we do need to get past the bacon cow we've got just here. I don't fancy going in the mud again there, so because this ground here is slightly better, I think what we do is we go where these trees are here. Just go straight. My hope is we can reverse back on in a second, because this needs to be behind this, obviously. In fact, while that's there, is that close enough? It is. Jump in this, we'll start loading that back up, because it is close enough to it. And we just need to stand up, we just need to level up to it anyway. I think this will be our longest road we've built to date throughout the whole game, and we've built some really long roads as well, to be fair, but I think this one will be the record breaker for us, just when it's all joined up. Okay, hopefully we just reverse straight back and we're back on the road. Yeah, that worked actually better than I thought. Right, back to the marker to fill up this one. And it's just deciding when we go from the other side, really. We may swap over in a minute and just go from the other side, do a bit of that, just to vary it up a little bit, really. But so far, this hasn't gone too badly. The worst part was that original bit over there. I think that was the worst part we dealt with. It's gone better than I expected. All to use one vehicle. Although we will be using these roads quite a bit, looking ahead, but this is all for one vehicle essentially, although nothing would have made it through this swamp. No matter what the vehicle was, there was no way it was getting through here. Right, see how far we can go the next two loads, and then we'll swap over to the other ones. But yeah, at some point we're going to do a pipe there, but we need the pipe facility up and running, which I think needs the main power substation first. There's nowhere it's got power. And then yeah, the plan will be to asphalt all of this in one go. It's a bit bumpy in places, but I don't think it's too bad. Okay. Right, let's see how far we can get with this load. Hopefully, get to where that fog of war is, ideally. I call it fog of war just because that's what I'm used to calling it. Does anyone call anything else? And the map's all fogged over. Is there another name for it? Because I've only ever always called it that, so I didn't know if there's another name for it, to be fair. Okay, we swap to this. Didn't really get as much put down there. Sometimes it feels like you don't get much distance with a full load. I just feel like it doesn't go very far at times. Okay, we'll get this to it, and then we'll go from, we'll have a look at the other side and do a bit there as well, I think, just to vary things up. So we want to be going roughly follow the route. We are nearly there though. We thought we'd get to as far as roughly here, although there's a hole there as well by the looks of things. Why is that fog moving now? Just because I'm there? Did it move from there then? No. It just showed more. Yeah, that hole there is going to be our first issue, I think. Yeah, I don't know if is there another name for fog of war? I've just always called it that. I think it stems from a game years ago, more than likely. That's it. Yeah, we're kind of on the edge of it. So what we'll do, we'll quickly jump over this side. This side we have got a quarry roughly to here. So we can do some of it, and then we're going to have the same issue with lack of quarry, annoyingly. Wrong vehicle. Where is this one? So this is the Aramatsu Bowhead. This is one of the end game kind of vehicles, really. We were giving it a go on this road. It's tracked, but it only carries half the amount of sand the bay cows have, weirdly. Doesn't carry as much as they do. Okay, so what we're going to do is, because we're going to join onto this road, and we used it to the road we built through the swamp on the other side. It wasn't too bad. It's just that it doesn't carry as much sand, so you're filling more often, which obviously is never a good thing. So we need to come round here. There is a point we need to turn off, which is here, and then come up where we cleared all the trees. I still think we may have to do something up here at some point for the side mission we have, but we'll hold off on that for the time being. It's nice to be able to just use a quarry that's nearby to actually reload the sand, to be fair. We've had so long of having a convoy yet. It's nice to just reload sand easily. I do feel this is harder to control in a lot of ways compared to using the bay cows for so long today. It's not very even at all there, but should be alright. So our turn-off point is just coming up on this left-hand side. And around halfway up is when we're going to run out of quarry. This is also a heavy one. This becomes a mobile quarry too. So it is similar to the bay cows. Thanks for the likes, brother. Much appreciated. It's similar to the bay cows in the fact that you can use it as a mobile quarry. Not all of these can be used like that. Just the heavy ones. But the fact it only holds half the load the bay cows does. Obviously if it's a mobile quarry it's not going to last very long. Before you have to refill this as well. Because even if you use the metal quarries, they still need refilling constantly. It's nice that you can go and do other things while it's refilling though. There is that benefit. Okay. Turn right. So this was the area we cleared as part of this same mission, which had told us to clear trees, and then it just said build a road. So we want to be heading up here between all the rocks, and once we get to this point, obviously then we've got the issue of sand once again, to be fair. So we've got to figure that out as well. Will we try and get a scalper down where we saw the sand? I don't know. Obviously, we're still going to get the scalper there. That's the problem. I really do struggle to try and do this evenly. It doesn't matter massively because you're going to end up flattening it. But I still try and do it as even as we can. Obviously, I'm trying to avoid them rocks there. So I'm going to head straight, and then we're heading to the right slightly, I think, there. I'm trying to get a good camera angle to see how much we're laying each time, but not the easiest thing to see sometimes. Right, that's that bit. So now I'm just going to go between these rocks really here. We're getting there though. As I say, it's these kind of things that can become tedious and time consuming. They do make a big difference long term. We may find this might be easier just to use to come back over the sand to refill. As normally we don't like doing that because the bay cow struggles when you start having mounds of sand. This may be okay because of the tracks. It may work okay. We know we're going to run out where the big heavy crane is. That's where we're going to run out of quarry. Try to keep it as even as we can. Doesn't matter massively because we're going to level it, but it does make things a little bit easier when we're leveling as well. I need to be a little bit more left, I think. Actually do this bit. Try to keep it in one place. Stop. There we go. So heavy crane is where we're going to run out. Feels like we're laying more sand down than we are in the bay cows with this, knowing that it holds half the amount. It feels like we're laying more, but we're definitely not. Right, we need to head a little bit to the right here. And then obviously we've got the holes to deal with. I think a lot of those will just be land bridges. I think would be our easiest option. So far, so good. But yeah, this is where now we run out of quarry. We're seeing it a little bit extended because this is a heavy vehicle as well. But we've got to come all the way down here yet, and then to the right. I kind of think maybe we need another bay cowl or something over here, maybe, where the edge is, because at least that would extend. I don't think putting the scalper down here is actually going to help us massively. Now with over here, because it's the radius the scalper has isn't massive. It may help us if we were to do a road this way or along here, but other than that, I don't think it helps. So the issue we have now is refilling. Yeah. Only just out, to be fair. Although this does seem to go over the sand you've laid a lot easier. The bay cow really struggles if you drive over sand you've just laid. Whereas this doesn't seem to have that issue. So this might be okay going back and refilling. It just doesn't last as long as the bay cow does. Although it doesn't like coming off that very well. Okay. Seems to run out so quickly compared to what we've been doing. Weird, lost some sound for a second there. Yeah, it's definitely a lot better driving back over the sand you've laid than the bay cow. Bay cow hates it. This isn't as bad. I think we might end up spending the whole of today doing this big long road. Although the infrastructure mission at least is another mission complete, essentially. Another thing ticked off the list. Whereas this itself helps us complete the mission, but isn't really anything more than that. Although long term, like I say, extremely helpful. It's so hard to make sure it's level-ish. I keep forgetting actually, once we're refilling we can drive. Because we're so used to having to keep moving back and forth with the other vehicles, I keep forgetting that. And this is actually, you know, slightly quicker. Because we can move while it's filling. The only concern I have slightly here is obviously the angle this road is going to be at. Although when it's level it should be okay. Although we are going off a mountain by the looks of it. It's not liking that bit of sand, is it? It's been okay going back over the sand until now. Maybe that mound's a little bit higher. Okay, so we're aiming for the trees we've cut down the left and that rock there. We need to get between the two, and after that we're heading right. I think we're just replacing the sand we've already done there. So definitely doesn't last as long. You can tell this only holds half the amount the bay cow does. Just runs out so quickly. Yeah, we did consider using the scalper, but I don't think it'll reach anywhere near where we need to here. We did do a bit of exploring just to see if there was any more quarries we could utilise. It There's nothing here. Come on, you can get over there. There we go. It's not open, the angle we're at means the sand is coming out. Okay, this is the bit we need to go round. Wow, already. So we get, it's very slow progress, I must admit. We're slowly getting there. Obviously we're going to go down the whole hill yet. We've got these two over here as well. I just wish there was a quarry nearby, but I just can't find one. That's the problem. It's so nice if they had a quarry nearby. The only other thing we can do is drive a vehicle to here to extend our reach, but then again, like we've seen with these bay cows, the reach is massive, to be fair. The keep going back here is the problem. We are slowly getting hard, it's getting harder and harder to do. We could level it out and see if that helps, maybe. That may make it a little bit easier to go back and forth if we level it. So we'll jump into the normal Pioneer. The other one we've been using is the rusty version. So we'll jump into this and level it off just to see if that helps us get back to refill. I think the bigger issue is it only holds half the amount of sand that the bay cows do, which means it runs out so much quicker. Now the only thing I did think about, and I've just realised maybe we may have made an error here, is if we need to run power from here anywhere, we're gonna have to break our road. Because I was thinking potentially we need to send power to here, which we can do along this bit here. Sawmill will now be an issue. We'll have to probably go under the road, which means getting rid of the road and then replacing it. So yeah, we may have to break up. We've never broken a road yet with the grader. There is an option to destroy the asphalt. We've never had to use it, but I think we may have to after this, just because potentially we'll have to lay cables. There's always a chance we don't, and they're just automatically already connected. There's a big chance we may have to. And I did think about it last time, but I didn't. We could have not done the bit of road we've done, and just done this bit down here, and then it wouldn't be so bad. But to be fair, I kind of want to use it for the first time, so we've actually used it. Because throughout the whole game so far, base game and DLCs have not had to break any asphalt. And you can't break the asphalt that's already there, it's only your own stuff. It'd be quite nice to actually do it for once, to be fair. But the way this is leveling off is good though. This may help us keep going back and forth. As I say, I don't know if maybe the bay cows will be better because they hold more. You can go further with them. It means we'd have to get them from where they are around here. Maybe something we potentially could do is try and go on the bay cows over here, just to make this a bit easier so we're not running out so quickly. That's the problem with the Amatsu. It's good because it's on tracks, although we've already proven the bay cows are more than enough in most conditions. It just doesn't hold enough. Everything takes twice as long because of it. Although we've leveled this off, I've kind of got to get this out of the way to reverse the arrow. Oh, just reverse back, I suppose. But yeah, I wonder if we are better off, maybe. Don't do that. Stop, 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 stop. I always forget to put handbrake on vehicles when we leave them. And because obviously we've levelled off the sand wasn't stopping it moving anymore. So it's deciding to go for a little ride of its own. I wonder if are we better off doing the bakehouse side first, just so we can hold more potentially. Is there a way of getting one of them bakehouse here without causing too many problems? I wonder. We could go for a drive and just see how this is, because I think it'd be a lot easier if we had the speed more, or if we could carry more. But then again, we still have the issue with the quarry anyway. I don't think it matters. I think either way, we've got the issue with the quarry. So even if it could hold more, we'd still have to keep going backwards anyway. And this does handle going backwards better. And I'll move back enough. Yes, just need to keep remembering we can drive while filling, even if we go out the quarry zone. Because it does save a little bit of time. We're not stood there doing nothing while it's refilling. I'm not going to keep flattening it every time either. I think every now and then would help us get back. We don't have to keep doing it all the time. Right, up the hill we go. I'll open that at the same time. Okay, we're kind of at the summit of the hill now, and then we're heading down there. I keep thinking I'm missing something and there must be a quarry nearby. I just can't see it. That's the annoying thing. I keep thinking there must be something around here. The only thing we've not looked over here, that's part of it, but we can't get across without doing a bridge anyway. But yeah, there's definitely nothing there I can see. We're getting close to the meeting in the middle, I suppose. You can, with the bit we're flattened, you can actually see how little we can go with half the load of the bakeout. So this holds 20 ton of sand, the bakeout is 40. It is quite weird to see it actually on, once you flatten something, you can see the difference. Back enough. There we go. So the land bridge would be interesting, I think, as well. We could use the bridge vehicle to put bridges down, and it may be the better option than land bridges. It's just going to depend on what it's like once we're there. Obviously, if you do a land bridge, you're not likely to fall off it. Whereas the bridge vehicles, the bridges they lay, you can fall off, which can become a problem if you're using an AI vehicle that's given to you, rather than one of your own. Right, we're getting there. It feels like it's really slow going, and it is. But we are getting there. I think we level that off again. Because we are tipping bits out occasionally, so it's better to keep leveling it, I think. It's going to be one hell of a road when it's done. And so I just can't see another way of the Wayfarer making this journey, so I think this is the only option. I keep doubting it, thinking maybe there is a different option, maybe there's something else we could be doing to solve it. There's no way it would have made it. I've been driven the Wayfarer too many times, knowing how bad it is. There's just no other option, I don't think. Despite me really wanting there to be another option, to be fair. It'd be nice if there was. At least you have a nice scenic route up the mountain, to be fair. That's the plus side, is the scenery. That is a slightly further back. Right, back in the Aramatsu. We've got to reverse back and refill. I think we've had low gear on actually. I think we have low gear on automatic when we start tipping, but I don't need it on reversing. Back it off. There we go. Okay. We'll start going down now, I think, as well. We'll do with time. Oh, we've still got an hour or so. The day is flying. I don't feel like we've accomplished much so far today, just because it's all infrastructure. Kind of need to be a bit further away from these rocks, I think. So I might need to redo a bit of that along this side here. Yeah, I think we need to come a little bit away from them rocks there, otherwise we're going to have issues. In fact, it's not an auto low gear when you start tipping. I thought it was, but it doesn't seem to be. Now, I did consider driving another heavy dumper here, so we could spur off that, but to actually get here, our nearest base is the Highland base, which is miles away. It is a long, long road that you can follow to get here that we've done ourselves previously for other missions, but it is a long way away. So even trying to get another dumper around this side would take a while. So I think doing what we're doing is probably the better way. Right, I know this was spread across slightly. I'm just going to put some down this side here. I want to try and be a bit away from them rocks on that left hand side. And I know it will, when it gets levelled, it will level it out further to the right. Just want to go a little bit further with it. I don't want to get caught on them rocks when we're passing or anything silly. And we still don't know if we're going to need to use this route for convoys. There may be convoys out there on this way. We want to make sure the AI's got no reason to hit anything either. Right, we're not even halfway down the hill, are we? But we are getting there. It's just taking a long time. Okay. Let's go back up. I keep thinking to swap back over, but I think we're okay for the minute. If only this held more. That's the thing. The worst part is going to be making them land bridges. We want no sand nearby. I think that's going to be a problem. Or be very annoying to do. Because we can't build bridges, we haven't really got a choice. Other than the bridge lane vehicles, obviously. There's a lot of room for error when you're driving bigger, longer vehicles like the Wayfarer. I think a land bridge does have many benefits. See, that's starting to fall off it. I think if this held the same amount as the Baikal holds, this would be so much more useful. Its lack of capacity makes it not as useful as it possibly could be. But then normally we wouldn't have this kind of distance between quarries. Normally we do have a quarry within radius, so it's not too bad. I think this is probably the worst we've had for lack of quarry when we're building the road, to be fair. We're getting there, slowly. So the aim today is to get the substation up and running, but it depends on this road. I say, if anyone's got any ideas for another way of doing this to make it quicker, do let me know. I just can't quite think of anything else. I think we made the error of judgment when we didn't use a bakehouse originally to lay that first road. We used this because it was different, and I think that obviously has its drawbacks. But then also we know the bakehouse, it's horrendous going back over sand, so this reversing over sand we're doing, it would struggle massively with that, whereas this seems to handle it not too badly. It has its moments. It definitely handles it better than the bakehouse does, although the bakehouse proved it can handle really deep mud. It's always, that's the other thing I really enjoy about this, is no matter how much you've done, how long you've been playing for, there's still new things that catch you out, like the bakehouse. I never knew it was that good in mud. You know, we've used it in mud before, it's got stuck a few times, but it's always managed to get through, but it's never had the mud we've dealt with here. And actually, it handled it really well. But we're only just discovering that after doing, I don't know how many hours now. I need to have a look how many hours we're in. I'd say around 100 hours would be my guess. The base game and DLC. But that is 100% in every map though as well. And obviously we don't have some of the options that are now in game. So we don't have damage on, we don't have fuel. Because they weren't out when the game first released. It's an add-on later. But isn't save game compatible, so we can't add them on now. We'd have to start the whole thing again, which we're not doing. So because of that, we don't have them options. But we're still learning new things about vehicles we've used for ages, which is always a good thing. And so I'm pretty sure, without double checking it, I'm pretty sure new maps, new vehicles, DLC out in March, according to the roadmap so far. Although of course that's also subject to change as well. But I can probably park this here rather than keep reversing this back as well. I think I can probably leave this here now. I don't want to go on a hill really. Let's go to the side. I want to be able to get back on the road or sand easily, ideally. Okay, so we need to head a little bit right here. We want to try and merge onto this track here, and the aim is to get to here if we can. They don't actually seem that deep, but we'll see them a bit better in a minute. Hang on. I forgot we can turn fairly simply with this. Why are we reversing? We can go forwards. It's little things you forget about. But this does turn near enough on itself. In fact, the back end the platform can actually turn fully, but we haven't utilised that really. But it is quicker going forwards than it is going backwards. If I'd realised that 10 minutes ago, that probably would have made life a little bit easier. I completely forgot we're on track, so yeah, of course we can turn on ourselves. That speeds things up a little bit. I completely forgot. Most track vehicles can do that as well, that's the thing. I didn't even think. I know, I didn't even think. This may be better for filling in them holes because of the platform control. That may actually come in really handy. Too fast. Trying to see how much we're laying down, but also at the same time look at where we're going. Because if we go down a hole, we're in a bit of trouble. Okay. So, we can keep going forwards here. I'm just going to have a quick check ahead. So we go forwards here, we're okay, and then we hit the hole. So that's going to need filling in. That first hole. And then come across here. I don't know if, can we cut out the holes? I don't think we can we? Unless we cut through here. Let's just get rid of some of that, actually. That's really uneven though. If we were to cut out this area and go across, it's extremely uneven. Which I think would still be a problem. Okay, it's not like I'm turning here. I think the bay cows are faster as well than this, but again they're on wheels, not tracks. Tracks are always slower. It can be better on certain terrain than wheels. Although the bay cow kind of changes that a little bit. We are getting there though. This is nearly all laid and then it is asphalt. We're not a million miles away, I don't think. Wrong button. I think that's the first time I've used the horn, to be fair. Right, we are getting close to where that hole is. Sheriff, good morning, how are you? This is Washout, the final DLC map, or the second DLC map. Final, second, same thing. How are you this morning, Sheriff? Apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Do tell me if I am. Yeah, this is Washout. Not a bad map, like I say, it's definitely worse than some of the other maps you've done with flooding. It's worse in the respect that the mud's a lot worse, the swamps are a lot worse. Okay, the hole is just coming up in a minute. Okay, wow. Stop. There's a bit of a hole here. And then the main bit of hole is there. Let's quickly flatten the bit we've done. Wrong vehicle. Forgot that was there. Need to push that off a little bit there as well. There we go. Okay, let's flatten this down to where we are down here. Now this is the tough part with these holes and filling these in. Just because we're going to use a lot of sand really quickly, and yet we've got to go back and get it from further back, annoyingly. We'll pop this to the side again. Once we've filled in them holes, we're going to have to level it as we go. Make life a little bit easier. Steph Theodore, good morning, how are you? Right. So the plan is, in fact, can we cut the corner a little bit here? So looking at this, I think it is that main bit there, isn't it? We are going to need to come this way, but you can go that way. It is just that main hole there, I think, is the problem. And it does, like, it dips down further ahead as well, to be fair. Alright, let's go and fill up see how far we can get with another load. I say we're getting very close to being done here now. Although there is, I think, a second hole, isn't there, where the bay cows are. And he's dealing with as well. Chilling, killing, nice. Good to hear. Okay, let's get this refilled and swung around again. That is the benefit, I think, to using this over the bay cows. We know how good the bay cows are now in mud. Carries double the amount, but being able to turn on itself, being able to turn around and go quicker by going forwards, we wouldn't have that ability with the bay cows. They will get stuck and have issues going back over sand they've laid. We haven't levelled it, and also they can't turn the way this can. So that would slow us down. I think every vehicle has pluses and minuses. You just got to balance it out to what works for you, I think. Okay. So there is a hole here. Not a big hole though. But the big hole is just past this one. Okay. There's the big hole there. Now this platform does move. Which obviously you've got to remember which way round it is. And you can go and start driving. But my thinking is to actually fill in this hole. That works really well. Okay. We're just going to remember which way is forward and which way is back. That's the thing. We get stuck in a couple of rocks there. Okay, we do need a bit more sand in this area anyway to join up the road, but we can do that in due course. Try and fill that hole in, I think, first and foremost. Saying that, yeah, we can go down the sides, okay. Little tricks the bay cow can't do, potentially. Thanks for the likes, very much appreciated. A little bit there needs flattening the game by the looks of it. May have missed it originally in the Pioneer. Right, let's get turned back round again. What we may do as well, I'm just thinking ahead, is the bay cows where they are, they hold double the amount this does. So in theory, if we load them both up, we may be able to get that bit along where they are done without having to keep going back and forth. Because they will hold 4 loads in total for this. So actually that may be really useful to do with those. Oh yeah, I think with the other ones, the bay cows, we probably would be tipping more out, exactly. But yeah, I think they would be quite useful to utilise the sand they carry element. Right, how are we looking with the hole? Obviously we don't want to get stuck in it, that's the big thing. We just need it filled in enough so we can level it. And there is another hole behind it as well. Remember which way is forward and which way is back. Okay, that's that one done. That can probably be levelled now. We do need do a bit more here to join it. The only thing is remember which way is forward and back. Right, let's swing this round. Yeah, definitely going to need more sand to just join the two bits. And then we can level that as well. So just a bit more along there. We can level that out then. And go from there. We are getting close to being able to asphalt the whole thing. Whether we get this done today, I don't know. The whole stream of doing one road. Although it's more than one, isn't it, really? We've effectively done 2 roads. And we did explore a little bit throughout this morning as well, to be fair. But it's been one big road. We've solved issues along the way, though, to be fair. For those who haven't seen the schedule, we are live again tomorrow morning. Another 3.5 hours. And with Ghost of Yotai as we continue to Path of Revenge. Hopefully we get to see what happens to the spider and the dragon. That's the hope anyway. But that'll be tomorrow. Yeah, it spins around. That's what makes it really useful, filling in holes. You saw the issue we had with the Baykal trying to put the land bridge over the pipeline. This would make that so much easier. It's just remembering when you've got it turned, which way's forward and which way's back. That's the only thing. It's so easy to go the opposite way without meaning to. But yeah, it does make a big difference with it. I think I need to level a bit of sand there. Okay, so it's this bit here, we need a bit more sand to join to the land bridge we've done. There we go. And we keep putting the sand down as we come across here. The issue is this next bit. So, let's close that. Then we've got a massive amount on us, but we're going to need to fill in this hole here too. So, let's spin the platform around again. It's actually done a decent amount, to be fair. I thought it wouldn't actually do that much, but it's done a decent amount. Now, the only other thing we've got here, because we've got the Baykals here, if they were both full, I know we need to finish their road as well, but they would give us a lot more here because it would be 4 loads if we're having to go and refill ourselves. So, although they can only go as far as that hole, I believe. So, what have we got in these so far? This has got nothing in it, has it? No. So let's reverse this back, fill this up. What we'll do is we'll use this one to refill the front one, and then we'll send this back to refill a second time, and then I'm hoping use both of these to fill up the Aramatsu and to save us having to keep going backwards, because I think we're close enough now not to have to keep going back if we utilise these two. As I say, both Baykals, they hold twice the amount the Aramatsu does. Which means 4 loads between fields is better than every one, and then we haven't tracked back. Admittedly, obviously we've got to do this, which isn't ideal. Reversing it back, but it's not the slowest. I don't know what's slower, the Aramatsu or these, in terms of going backwards and refilling. But to get 4 loads without having to keep going back would be a massive game changer, I think. Well, Not game changer, but it will speed us up. But we can drive while filling as well. Does make a difference. But yeah, we'll use this one to fill the front one. I've gone slightly off road. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do it. I got slightly caught out there and gone off the road with the dump. It's my own fault. I was looking at chat at the wrong time. I will need to level that out a little bit in due course. I glanced down to look at chat and I shouldn't have done. The wrong time to do it. It's not the first, it won't be the last time. Right, let's refill this again. Right, let's try it again, shall we? But yeah, 4 loads between reloads would make a massive difference. Time-wise and speed-wise. I don't know if we'll get this done today. I was hoping to get the substation repaired today, but because of what we've had to do to get us to the point of being able to do it, I don't think it's going to happen. Although I say that, we're still at 40 minutes, so there's a chance. So there you go. Took the corner a bit too sharp. I'm struggling there a little bit, to be fair. I know this is the rusty version. It's obviously not as good as the base version. Let's quickly just flatten this bit so we get a bit closer. Okay. I think the actual I think the rusty version has a smaller area than the proper version. Looking on the map, it seemed like there was a difference in terms of what area they have in terms of refilling. I don't know if I'm just imagining that, but that does seem bigger on the base version than it is on the rusty version. Okay, what we're going to do is refill this one too, and then both of them together gives us 4 loads in the Aramatsu, and that may be enough to connect the 2 areas, potentially. Try to spill it on the way. If I could turn around I would, but off track is just horrendously bad. If it was the base version I probably wouldn't have too much of an issue. Rusty version is not as good as the base version, stats wise, stability, speed, everything's worse. We're going to need a crane at some point there as well to get that pipe dealt with. We need the pipe making facility back up and running first. Yeah, definitely the longest road is only one go, by far I think. We're there, aren't we? There we are. Okay, this time, follow the track properly. Don't go off-road. I've already gone off-road. Come on. I'm actually amazed. Towards the end of yesterday's stream of Grace Yotai, I was probably lost the last 20 minutes. I was not fully awake for the last 20 minutes of yesterday's stream. Today though, because I had a really rough night, I don't feel too bad. But yeah, this drowsiness is still having issues. I think the worst part is falling asleep while eating. That's the worst part. It's not so bad when my other half's here because she'll shout at me. But yeah, lunchtime's not fun. Okay, so we've got 2 bakehouse here full of sand. We now just need to move the Aramatsu, or move both of these forward enough to get to the Aramatsu. There's a refill station. This is a bit drier here, so we may be able to turn around as well, so it will make a difference when we have to go and refill. But let's have a look. So we know there's a hole coming up, so we'll be careful of that. We just need to be close enough that the Aramatsu can refill. That's all we need. This track isn't too bad for these, to be fair. Is that a hole or is that just a little bump? That's a bump. Right, are we close enough for the Aramatsu or not? That's the question. Just outside, but we can move the Aramatsu into this. Now you can just see we're just outside the radius there. On which side? That's... I don't think I can get there, only because the hole there is going to be the problem. I think I can move this. To be fair, I think actually I might be able to skirt around that hole there and go through the trees on this right hand side. Although then that hole there extends all the way through, these trees will knock down anyway because they're thin trees. To avoid it, I don't want to get this stuck. I think we can get round here. All I'm doing is trying to get close enough that the Aramatsu can refill off this. That should do it. Yeah, easily. There we go. And as I say, that has 2 loads to each one of these as well. It just saves us a bit of time of going back and forth. Okay, into the hole. Let's go back a little bit more. Forwards a little bit more, I should say. So there. Forwards a little bit more. And then I think that may be land bridge done. So. Because this is the wrong way round, I'm getting the confusion between which way is what. Stop. Okay. Right, so we need to swing this round again because I'm getting confused on which way is what. Down. Swing this round. So now we're back facing the right way. We can refill as well. So we do need to join this and that together so we can actually asphalt the whole lot. So let's reverse back this way. So that's the sand there we've already done across there. It's not going to be the easiest join actually, I don't think. Alright, so it'll be a bit straighter here. Once this is all levelled out, this will work out absolutely fine. There we go, it's better. And if we get over here, we'll get back a bit. That's going to be quite a jump up if we're not careful there. Okay, that might be okay when it's flattened. It does look quite a jump up though. We have got this hole to fill as well. What we're going to do, quickly flatten that off. Just so then we know where we are. Also, there was a second bit to flatten up here, weren't there? Yeah, if you flatten that bit off, we'll kind of know what else is needed there. I think potentially that bit's done. We just need to refill the second hole. Right, we saw there's a bit here causing us issues. swing this back around. There are a few rocks on the sand which will mess up, will probably mess around with the asphalt layer a little bit. We don't want to do too much about them all, I don't think. Try and push them to the side where we can. Actually not too bad, that land bridge. Pretty happy with that. And this one here. Okay, we're getting a little bit of trouble turning. Probably it's more look all the rocks out there, that's probably causes more issues. So we need to try and move those rocks to the side. Can there. There we go. They may need a bit more sand here, to be fair. Well, it levels out quite well, to be fair. There needs to be enough sand that asphalt will stick, and I think it will, to be honest. That's actually not too bad. Okay, this bakeout is now empty. The second one's there. I won't go and put it through the trees, but what I might do is fill up the other one from this one, and while that's filling, go back and get another load, and then we can fill the Aramatsu up. Still quite a bit to do, distance wise, but as long as the holes are done, I think those make life a little bit easier. Yeah, this definitely hasn't got the radius the fixed version does. The fixed version definitely has a bigger radius of refill compared to this one. This really is struggling on some of the ground as well. But there's one more hole we still need to deal with. So we are nearly there. It's just we're not there yet. Why can that not refill? It's in the zone. Get a bit closer then. It's weird. Alright, well, let's see if this can refill. No. It might be where we are. The trees may be stopping it filling. Sometimes it doesn't like trees being in the way. No, it won't refill. It's weird. I will now. Don't know why I didn't like that. Didn't like it though. For whatever reason, it just didn't like the refilling of it. Right, the biggest issue is going to be the hole here. Don't actually need to be as close as we are, to be fair. So, again, we'll do what we did last time. We'll go forward until we get to the hole. Swing the whole back end round to go that way. Do you have both dumpers? No, so it's two loads per dumper. So that'll be 4. Thanks for the like, much appreciated. Yeah, so the bakehouse hold 40 tons. The Aramatsu that we're in now holds 20. And there's 2 bakehouse being used, so that's 40 tons. 80 tons in total. That's 4 times what this does. Okay, we're going to stop there and spin this round and straighten up a little bit as well. Okay, spin the platform. We're getting caught up a little bit on the left hand side. It's slightly higher than where we're sitting, hence the cat getting caught a little bit there. Remember which way is forward and which way is back. To be fair, I could just reverse the bakehouse up and do it that way, to be honest. No, not 5, it's 20. Okay, so they're both them two dumpers are empty. But I think the land bridge is already nearly there. This hole wasn't as bad as we thought, to be fair. Yeah, that's nowhere near as bad as it looked. Okay, what we need to do, if we spin this round. Mike, good morning, how are you? You're not late, no one's ever late, Mike. Life comes first at the end of the day, so no one's ever late. We may be better off just using the bakehouse now to actually lay the sand down. Because all we've got to do is join the areas. There's a bit more that needs to be joined, but it's not much. This will need flattening, so let's move this to the side. Because the bakehouse now are just as good to use. So the bakehouse can now go and fill up, I think. We'll quickly level this off. I think we need to put a bit more sand on that join part there, but other than that, I think we're nearly there. And then asphalting and rolling. Asphalting will take a bit of time as well. It definitely won't be quick. Yeah, there needs to be some sand there, otherwise we won't get any asphalt laid. All in all, I think that's not too bad. Actually, that doesn't need joining. We've managed to push the sand across from where it was. Yeah, the sand is all there. I wasn't sure if that would join probably, but it has done. So what we need to do now is just go and quickly fill up the bake out to get some more sand, because obviously we need to join the two bits over there, and that's about it really. We will be done. And then asphalt time. What we'll do, we'll move this one out of the way. There's no point convoying it now, I don't think. This is the rusty version, so it can stay there a minute. Into the main version. We'll get this turned around. But yeah, there's no point convoying it now. We've only got a small bit to do. It may take a couple of loads, but we may as well just drive back and forth ourselves. I say there's only a small bit to do. It's not as small as you think, is it? There's actually a bit there to do. I think it'll be at least 2 loads potentially. Because we're actually driving this normally forwards. Thank you for the like, much appreciated. Okay. We're so close to having the sand part done at the very least. So close. Alright, let's refill. So my thinking was we go forward, now we can reverse back here and then swing it around forward as well and go the other way. All this for a Wayfarer. And it's only, I think it's only one run, it's not even a convoy. But long term, we need all this done anyway. Yeah, I know. The main thing is you got through it, Crazy Ashman, that's the main thing. Hopefully you have a better 2026 now. Why are you hating 2026? It's only just started. It's a bit early to be hating it already, surely. Okay, just going to quickly move this out of the way. So many vehicles all over the place that have used for different reasons. Alright, that can go there. Back to the bake out. So we're just going to join this up to what we've done the other side. And then that is job done, or that bit done of the job anyway. Should have started probably the other side, because this doesn't like driving back over the sand you've already put down. I probably should have started the other side. So where's that got us? How many more loads do we reckon? You meant 20? You mean 2025? Yeah. Right, we've just got to get over there. Maybe more than 2 loads, to be fair. I think maybe more than 2. Obviously, going forwards is quicker. What we might do is drive past and go and start from the other side. So at least that way it's a bit easier to join it. Just because this hates driving back over sand that isn't flattened. You can deal with mud that goes up, covers its whole wheels, but can't deal with a bit of sand that makes a little bit of a hill. Although that was poor driving. Survived it just about. But yeah, the asphalt is going to take some time, and then the rolling as well. We've got about 20 minutes to the stream left. I don't think we're going to get the power substation up and running today, just because the amount of asphalt we need to do tells me probably not. But hopefully we get the majority of the road asphalted, maybe even rolled potentially in the next 20 minutes. I think we've got at least 2, maybe 3 more loads to do to join up both sides. And then that'll be job done. Hopefully it's 2, not 3. We'll know shortly. Yeah, I thought I was going to tip as well, to be fair. I went too quickly. Don't tip, don't tip. Just taking the corners. I'm looking at chat at the wrong times. That's the problem. I keep looking down and then suddenly I'm in trouble. Yeah, if we veer off here, we're not going back over the bit of done. And then start from the other side and come towards this. This makes it a bit easier on the bay cow. It just dislikes driving over sand that isn't flattened. That's the only downside. Yeah, we've definitely learnt a bit more about the bay cow because we've used it so much throughout the base game and DLCs. I feel like we've learnt more about it today than we have done for all of that, to be fair. It's just been amazing to see it through that mud. We really thought we'd have major issues with. Okay. So, if we go back a bit more. There we go, that's the sand joint. Okay, that's 1 load done. I think it's 3. I think that's 1 of 3 we need to do there. I just want to quickly set. I may need to put more sand here. You see, we've missed a little bit over this edge. I just want to see if we can level it off. No, it's fine. We don't need more sand there. That's the thing. Once you level sand, sometimes you find you don't need as much as you think. There we go. Leave that there for a minute. Right, back to fill up the bake out. Yeah, I reckon 2 loads potentially to join these 2 areas, and then level the last little bit and then asphalt. and then in Thursday morning stream, hopefully get the substation up and running, see where the mission changes into, because there's a chance the mission will add to itself once that's done. We've got the side mission to do as well, which we've got to figure out how to get up there with the holes and the rocks in the way. That may be some sand going up there as well. Let's see what else comes up. I think it was 41% done when we started today. We're not going to drop any percentage, I don't think, mainly because we haven't actually completed a mission. It's just been all infrastructure to allow us to complete more of the missions. My driving's getting worse as they're going on now, and I'm not falling asleep either, but my driving's getting a lot worse. You'd think I'd be falling asleep or something the way we're driving at the minute. Okay. Yeah, I don't think one will be enough for what we need. I think it's going to be at least two. Where do I wind up? Definitely quicker though going forwards. I think our plan has worked though. We've managed to get this done despite the lack of quarry areas. We've managed to get all of this done. It's been a little bit of convoying and to and fro, but it's worked. Obviously the asphalting is going to be a bit dodgy in places, I think. I may come back and flatten this again, like that kind of edge in there. Mainly flattening properly again, I think. Just to make sure it's fine. The last thing we want is the asphalt playing up when we're trying to lay it. It's temperamental at best anyway. We don't want to make that any worse. Okay, so let's turn around. I think penultimate load potentially. Depends how even we can get the spread, to be fair. Yesterday the blocking was off, driving was off. I know. I just hope tomorrow is better. Hopefully we can block better tomorrow and go to Yotai. There's no real excuse either, that's the thing. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Driving's only off when I look at chat while trying to drive. Well, that's why you should always focus on the road. Not get distracted. It's a perfect example. Yeah. I think one more load. How are we? Potentially one more load, especially if we level up. I think we can probably stretch a little bit more. Anything to kind of save us another load, really. Flatten this out. Let's see. But yeah, I think one more load, hopefully. I was following the track here, but actually we can just cut across. That saves a bit of sand. That's why cutting across already. Okay. I don't know. Maybe two. Looking at that, it may be two loads. I'm not sure. It's going to be close, I think, no matter what. So fingers crossed, last load, but potentially penultimate. Oh, don't do it, don't do it. People walking and texting and not... Oh, yeah, no. Crossing the road while texting. I don't understand how people do that. Or why they do it. You know, you can get on your phone for 5 seconds and you walk across the road. Because you know they're not paying attention. That's the thing. And, you know, my history of obviously being involved in a major accident with vehicles, I just don't think it's anything worse. But they'll be the first ones that complain that it's the driver's fault. Even though they're distracted, they're not looking where they're going. I've had it before in town. We've been out in town doing something. Obviously I'm on crutches because I can't walk properly without them. Well, I can walk, but it's not good. And I've had people walk into me because they're on their phone, because they're not looking where they're going. And it's not always young people either. It's older people as well. They're just as bad. Yeah, no worries, Mike. Thanks for dropping by. Have a good one, Mike. Have a good sleep. Thanks for watching. Much appreciated. Yeah, I'm hoping this is the last load. Just means we can do something else today. All we've done today is chop a couple of trees down and lay sand. Surprising how long these things take sometimes. But yeah, I think this needs a bit reflattening around here. What I might do is go from this side now, rather than turning around again. I think we'll just go from this side. I'm so hoping it's the last load. One is because I struggle to actually lay it evenly. Probably won't be. Oh, it's going to be close. I think it may be last load. I think just about it will maybe just work. Let's jump over to the Pioneer and see. It's going to be close, so we're going to need to turn around just to make sure, spread it across this way a bit. I think it's going to be close. But yeah, I think that will be okay. And then asphalt time. Why do you say nice to meet? You've met Irish before, Mike. I didn't touch the tree. The tree just fell down without touching it. Well, we did just want to quickly flatten this bit anyway, so I'm just going to go over this. Then we'll turn around and go and hopefully make the join work without needing more sand. See if we can lower that a little bit as well. I think it was round here there was some issues, how flat it was. Oh, it's the way you said it. Because you said nice to meet, not nice to see you. Right, I think that's all we need to do in terms of flattening. I know these rocks are going to be awkward and in the way, but there's not much we can do about them now. The asphalt can actually be really good with stone sometimes, other times really bad. But we'll have to see how they go. We can use the asphalt to knock them off as well though, that's the thing. As long as they don't get stuck. Right, we've got about 10 minutes. Hopefully we can get some of this asphalt laid at the very least. We have failed in the aim for today of getting the main power substation back up and running. But only because it decides to give us a Wayfarer for us to actually drive. With any other vehicle than the Wayfarer, I think we probably would have got away with a lot of this. But as I say, long term, this is all going to be really helpful. It's up until from 10 till 2. Wow. It's so easily done though, isn't it? That's the thing, it's so easily done. The sand does take the most time. Okay, I'm hoping this joins. We don't need more sand. Don't think so. I think. Oh, it has joined. It's going to be a bit thin there, but it has joined. It will be a little bit thin, I think. Okay, I think we're good to go. Part of me thinks I should get some more sand to put it in that little bit. It's a tiny little bit though. Ah, you can see it. Yeah, I can't leave that. Despite how much I wouldn't mind leaving it, I can't. It'll bug me knowing that I've left a little bit like that. We're going to quickly go and fill back up. And then level that bit off and then we'll asphalt. There's nothing, everything's empty. Annoyingly. Yeah, all the dumpers there are empty. I don't know if going up over the hill would have been quicker, to be fair. But yeah, I can't leave a little gap like that. It'll bug me forever if I don't do it. I was hoping the sand would just make it work, but it didn't. Not quite anyway. Right, it's the refill. Obviously we can still drive while it's refilling, so that's not an issue. And we don't need much there, it's a tiny little joint we just need to add some sand to. And then asphalt can start. Yeah, every vehicle was empty where we were. We could have gone up the hill, admittedly. I don't know if that would have been quicker. Okay. Potentially, well, not potentially, the last little bit. Don't do it. I thought we was a mess up there. Okay, a little bit is just along here. It is literally here. That's the bit we need to do. That's it. That's all we needed. A tiny little bit to finish it off. Right, just need to get this out of the way. Just a minute. Okay, where's our... I don't know which one's which. This one? Yeah. Flatten off, jump in the asphalt and we can start laying asphalt. Although we've only got like 5 minutes left. See if we'll... I don't think we'll get loads done, but we'll get some of it, I think. And that's if, as long as we don't encounter any problems. We think we've solved all the issues around us, hopefully. Obviously stones could play a part here, but I think we've solved everything else. Right, let's get this out of the way. That's all joined up, so now we're going to jump back to the substation because over here we have the asphalt layer ready to go. Now we've got quite a lot of asphalt to lay. We're not going to get it all done today because we've only got like 5 minutes left, but we'll get some. At least it's started. But we've laid a lot of sand today. Awful lot of sand. Luckily, because the width of this, most areas will only need one going over. Sometimes we have to reverse around a little bit just to fix an issue, but generally, because of how wide it is, it only takes one going over to get it done. Whereas the base one that you get to start with is, I wouldn't say half the width, definitely smaller. Some areas that we've extended a little bit on may need a quick going backwards, like this corner here. And we know around the other side there are some corners that are made a lot wider on purpose. They're going to need a couple of sweeps, but generally most of it can be done in one. You don't realise how bad the first vehicles that you use in this are. Only when you get to a point of, you know, every vehicle unlocked and you start trying to use different vehicles all the time, you actually realise the base versions are really bad. Like the Pioneer that we use for levelling sand, the other one you start with is horrendous compared to the Pioneer. Doesn't like the hill. I think it's bottoming out. I think that's more the issue. That front section of weight there, it's catching us on the hills. I think that's a weight at the front. Is it a weight, or is it just, or is it a, what do you call it? A bucket. I think that's what it's called. Really not liking the hill though. The only downside of the asphalt, it can be so temperamental. It will go off on its own tangent. Turn when you don't want it to turn. Speed up randomly like it just did. We're on this about time. We do need to stop. I want to carry on. I want to get more done, but I know I'm going to push myself beyond the point I don't want to get to. Let's just square up this bit here that we've kind of gone a little bit wonky on. If this will turn, which it's not allowing me to. Really doesn't want to turn for some reason. It does really deactivate it though. Sometimes it's just quicker and easier to deactivate it for a second. But yeah, let's square this bit up and then I think we are going to be out of time. We are back on this on Thursday morning. We'll continue on, we'll finish off this road. Hopefully, once this is all done, power substation back up and running. And jobs are good. Okay, I should stop. Actually, let's quickly just square this up, because that looks bad. I know no one sees, bar us, no one really, it's a single player thing, no one really obviously sees what we've done road-wise, although you guys do, I should say. I still can't leave them. Part of me just thinks it looks a mess, we've got to fix it. There we go. Right, we've done quite a bit, mainly sanding, admittedly. Have you done with saying refill? Really? Oh, yeah, it will say that, but the others don't have anything in them. But yeah, it will still say if there's other dumpers nearby that you can refill from, but there's nothing in them, it will still say it. So, what have we achieved today? It doesn't feel like we've achieved very much, but in actual fact, we've managed to do all the sand for the road that leads from our forest base all the way down here before we join the road that the infrastructure has for us to allow the gas station to join to the repair shop. We then came off that and spurred off over this way because we need to drive the Wayfarer from the gas station to the substation. So we made the road all the way across, filling in the holes along here, and then as per the mission said, after clearing the route of the trees in the last string, we made the sand route through there all the way down, and then we go onto the road that we built previously over here, but just before that is a drop off for the Wayfarer just there. And that is what we managed to do today. It doesn't feel like much, but long term I think it's going to make a massive difference, and we needed it anyway because that Wayfarer wouldn't have made it otherwise. Let's come out. I guarantee we've not changed percentage. We started on 51%. I think we're still going to be on 51%. To be honest, that's not going to change. But we'll have a look as well at the same time. Oh, 41% still, as I said. That's currently where we're at. We can see a little bit more of the top left has now been opened up because we did a little bit of exploring first thing to see about if there's any more quarries around, but couldn't find one. But that is it. We are done for this morning. Thank you very much for joining us. I know it's not been the most exciting, laying sand everywhere, although we had some moments where we nearly tipped over and the mud nearly swallowed us whole and things like that. But it's not the most exciting, but it does matter massively. On top of being an infrastructure mission anyway, that's going to make life possible when it comes to moving that Wayfarer, which was the aim. But a massive thank you, guys. Crazy Action, thank you for joining us. Very much appreciated. See you tomorrow for Go See Yotai, indeed. As always, thank you for the likes, the comments, the views, and the conversation. We're back tomorrow morning with more Ghost of Yotai. RoadCraft Rebuild DLC is back on Thursday morning. And tomorrow evening, the vote for next main livestream game finishes off with the final 4 games. The 2 winners from the previous votes and the 2 runners-up, one of which I had to choose because it was a draw at the time that the vote finished. Just a quick note, if you go and have a look at the votes at any point and they've already finished, the pinned comment will be what won and what was second or whatever at that time of finish. Any votes after that aren't counted, so I don't change what I've put on there. It is what it is at that moment in time when it is due to finish. Normally around 8:30 a.m. On a Saturday. On a Saturday is normally when they end. So at that point I check and I put a pinned comment to say which one won, which one was second if needed. And go from there. So anything after that may be different to what I saw, but it doesn't count. But there we go. A massive thank you, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the likes, comments, views, conversation. As I say, back tomorrow, Ghost of Yotai, Thursday RoadCraft. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you all in a live stream very soon. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.